Mic check 1 2. Check the mic. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Check the mic. Mic check 1 2.
Hey, records.
If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love.
L'argent est fini, ma bébé, là où est Fao? L'argent est fini, ma bébé, là où est Fao? Quand on a de la boue, où est Fao? Go, my baby, la où est Fao? I let you buy it. I can never leave you on the highway. You my baby. As I do, c'est tout. C'est tout.
If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love.
Photo, I want a photo. I will not get you photo. I will not get you photo. Photo. I'm not get photo. I want a photo. Let me take a photo, yeah. Smile for me, just place up for me. Tell me now who I want to be with. L'argent est fini, ma bébé, là où est Fao? L'argent est fini, ma bébé, là où est Fao? Quand on a de la boue, où est Fao? Just go, my baby, là où est Fao? I let you buy it. I can never leave you on the highway. You my baby. As I do, c'est tout.
If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love. If I show you love, you show me love. Love, love, love like love.
Eba, zona, eba, zona, les pommes si on play out, les pommes si on play out, les pommes si on play out, les pommes si on play out. Eh, I'm on bounce on you again, I'm on bounce on you again, I'm on bounce on you again, I'm on bounce on you again. Zona, eba, zona, I'm on bounce on you again. 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 They want my life to be crawling. They say my life will be jogging. But then I know one thing they not know. I have a very big God, he can never leave my side. When you ready for me, he can waste the white side. And I bounce on my haters, I bounce on it. I bounce on my haters and I bounce on it. I say more, I'm on the bar. I say fait bonne, I'm on the bar.
Playing failure, we not speaking like me and success can fund. They get me up, they bring me down, but stay advancing. Jala ganga boy, advancing on my haters, I can bounce. Jala love my bro. Shout out to my market, oh my, and shout out to all my yana boy. They say I rude, but at the end of the day, I can bring no papa God. Who say I finish your turn and say they can't spot? There is time in my picking, but you won't cry. And I got nothing, my people, I stay on strap. The day I bump it, y'all will know before I post to my shop.
I'm on bounce on you again. Again, I'm on bounce on you again. Again, I'm on bounce on you again. Again, I'm on bounce on you again. Zona, zona. Eba. Zona, zona. Zona, zona. I'm on bounce on you again. 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 I'm on bounce on you again.
Yes, I'm about to bounce on you again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Voice of SINOE, with brand new edition of the show. Today we have the leaders of the Liberian Association of Pennsylvania. Will be here, the president-elect, the vice president, and the assistant secretary general of the organization, the largest Liberian organization in Pennsylvania. All right, so I'm looking backstage. Once the guests they are in the chat room, I will let you know. But in the meantime, keep sharing the show. It's a fascinating conversation. You know, these leaders, they are hard to get. And so when they are available, when they come out to us, the media, we want to ask the questions. And you too, you are free to ask the questions. I will share your questions with them. All right, so we'll be back with entertainment here.
My people, where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands. Come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta whip us some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to grieve? You see, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work, but people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. people fool us, so the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the ball around the head.
With the promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to grieve? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and little on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Yes.
This one a real one. Who Yankee? I'm a real sticker a long time. The record, mash up the place.
Okay, you're not able to take care of Babu Nebo. You're not able to bust the rata Babu Nebo. Oh, so ja monkey calm down. Oh, monkey calm down. Monkey calm down. Oh, monkey calm down. Monkey calm down to you. Monkey calm down to you. Monkey. Oh, so ja monkey calm down to you. Monkey calm down to you. Monkey calm down to you. Once upon the time, in the jungle, there lay so many animals and so many trees. During those days, there were no restriction. Anytime, any day, anyone used to corrupt and go outside free in the jungle, yeah. After they realized that everything was good, I said everyone were only after the food. Majority of the people went beyond baboon, and few people went beyond monkey.
Yes, no, we are not bringing a monkey down this morning. We are just about to have a great conversation with the community leaders, the largest Liberian organization in the state of Pennsylvania. The president-elect, Madam Sayondee Kofa, and her cabinet will be here, at least two officials. They are here with me and on VOSD to start the conversation. All right, so the vice president is backstage already. All right, so stay tuned as you join. Please share the link for us. We will highly appreciate that. You know, these guys are doing a wonderful job for the community. They've been around for a minute, and so that we can get a sense of what they are doing for us. Okay, so this is let me bring the vice president first here. I think I got a vice president image somewhere around here. Hopefully I uploaded it before I am held in contempt. Let me see. I think apparently I did not put it there. That's not good. All right, I'll put it there. But let's do our entertainment. I'll be back.
The headers of the time made a big mistake. After election, the winner made a selection. So the citizen of the jungle was unsatisfied. So they decided to send another caretaker. Who love, who care, who has the ability taking care of the people. Okay, you're not able to take care of Babu Nebo. You're not able to bust the rata Babu Nebo. Oh, so ja monkey calm down. Oh, monkey calm down. Monkey calm down. Oh, monkey calm down. Monkey, monkey, come down to you. Monkey, gonna down to you. Monkey, Otoja, monkey, come down to you. Monkey, come down to you. Monkey, come down to you. Monkey, chop, chop, chop. Monkey, can I get tired?
Say monkey chop chop yo.
Monkey, can I get tired?
Monkey chop chop chop.
Monkey, can I get tired?
Monkey chop chop yo.
Monkey, can I get tired?
Keeping banana and the chop stealing is a error. A Russian is a error.
Monkey, can I get tired?
Hey, we wanna live life. That's to live a good life. We wanna live life. Can't live for better life. We wanna live life. That's to live for better life. We wanna live life. That's to live for better life. We wanna live life. That's to live for
Monkey,
better
you not
life.
able to take care of Babu Nebo. You not able to bust the rata Babu Nebo. Oh, soldier, monkey, calm down. Oh, monkey, calm down. Monkey, calm down. Oh, Rob, monkey, calm down. Monkey, monkey, calm down to you. Monkey, gonna down to you. Monkey, oh, soldier, monkey, calm down to you. Monkey, calm down to you. Monkey, calm down to you.
This one a real one. Who Yankee? I know real stick a long time. The record, mash up the place.
Monkey, you not able to take care of Babu Nebo. You not able to bust the rata Babu Nebo. Oh, soldier, monkey, calm down. Oh, monkey, calm down. Monkey, calm down. Oh, Rob, monkey, calm down. Monkey, monkey, calm down to you. Monkey, gonna down to you. Monkey, oh, soldier, monkey, calm down to you. Monkey, calm down to you. Monkey, calm down to you. Once upon the time, in the jungle, there lay so many animals and so many trees. During the day, there were no restriction. Anytime, any day, anyone used to corrupt and go style free in the jungle, yeah. After they realized that everything was good, I said everyone were only after the food. Majority of the people went beyond baboon, and few people went beyond monkey. The headers of the time made a big mistake. After election, they went and made a selection. So the citizen of the jungle was unsatisfied, so they decided to send another caretaker. Who loves, who care, who has ability, taking care of the monkey. You not able to take care of Babu Nebo. You not able to bust the rata Babu Nebo. Oh, soldier, monkey, calm down. Oh, monkey, calm down. Monkey, calm down. Oh, Rob, monkey, calm down.
All right, guys, we are working out modalities. The president will be on shortly. The vice president, the beautiful gentleman whose image you are looking at right now on the screen is already backstage. The vice president of Liberian Association of Pennsylvania, Mr. Sando Johnson, is backstage right now. All right, so once the president gets on, we'll start the show. But in the meantime, as you join us, please share the link for us. We will highly appreciate that.
Monkey, monkey, come down to you. Monkey, gonna down to you. Monkey, Otoja, monkey, come down to you. Monkey, come down to you. Monkey, come down to you. Monkey, chop, chop, chop. Monkey, can I get tired?
Say monkey chop chop yo.
Monkey, can I get tired?
Monkey chop chop chop.
Monkey cannot get tired. Monkey chop chop yo. Monkey cannot get tired.
Keeping banana and the chop stealing is a error. A Russian is a error.
Monkey cannot get tired.
Hey, me wanna live life, can't live a good life. Me wanna live life, can't live for better life. Me wanna live life, can't live for better life. Me wanna live life, can't live for better life. Me wanna live life, can't live for better life.
You not able to take care of Babu Nebo. You not able to bust the ragga Babu Nebo. Oh soldier, monkey calm down. Oh monkey calm down. Monkey calm down. Oh rob monkey calm down. Monkey calm down to you. Monkey calm down to you. Monkey. Oh soldier, monkey calm down to you. Monkey calm down to you. Monkey calm down to you.
Bible storm, monkey listen. You give it right, it can crack it. Bible storm, monkey listen. You give it straight, it can break it. We do your long time ago that Mr. Monkey was very wicked. The way you see it with your apple, then you know that love is wicked. Monkey see apple, they pick it. Banana and plum, they take it. All the cuckoo food in a pocket. It when give it something lick it. Monkey drop it, it drop it. Nana, only Babu can stop it. Monkey drop it, it drop it. Nana, only Babu can stop it. It call all the African monkey. I don't want for them to rip it. Monkey jump from tree to tree, hustle hustle. It ready, yes it is. Monkey jump from tree to tree, hustle hustle. When it ready, yes it is. Two back when monkey we catch it. That one, it will not be easy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to VOSD. The leaders of the community, Liberian Association of Pennsylvania, the president and the vice president, they are now backstage. And so I have the special honor at this time to invite the special guests on the platform here. So the person you're looking at is the president elect, and the vice president, if you don't know him, yeah, it's him, but he's coming. He will be on live with you. All right. So without further ado, I'd like to invite the vice president first, so Mr. Sando Johnson. Hey, Mr. Johnson, welcome.
Thank you very much, and we are very excited to be on your show.
Okay.
And we are looking forward to having a very good discussion here today.
Excellent. All right, let me bring so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, again, I'd like to bring out the president of the Liberian Association of Pennsylvania, Her Excellency Madam Sayondee Kofa. Madam Kofa.
Hello there. Thank you. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Let me see. What are the names? We sure like that? No, I think it's not. All right. So, Madam President, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you, sir.
All right. I mean, just call me Saya Porter. It's fine. I don't like those sir and all the titles.
Saya Porter.
Yeah.
So we gotta break that name into syllables now. Saya Porter.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right, let's see. The secretary is backstage. Let me hit when the man settles down. I'll bring him on, so we can get the ball rolling here. All right, let me see here. Lloyd, are you set up over there? I'm bringing the man on. This is Lloyd Togbah. He's the assistant secretary general for LAB. Hey, Mr. Togbah, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Honorable Esoteric Saya Pule. The man is understood by the faithful few.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, this Esoteric. So let's see. Let me get this thing set up. All right. I am very happy to have you on board. The leaders of our community. People have been calling me. They can't wait to talk to you guys, to know what you are coming on, even though I told them a little bit of what you are here for. But what you do before we get the show going here, I like to go around first to get a little background, or people do self-introduction. So the boss lady is here, but she will be the last. So let's start from the Assistant Secretary General. Mr. Togbah, you want to introduce yourself and say one or two words about yourself? Please.
My name is Stephen Lloyd Togbah, resident of Pennsylvania. I live in the Chestnut Hill community. My background, I'm from Sando County, both parents. I've been around. I'm a family man. I have kids. What else? I'm a career politician, so to speak.
Yeah, for some reason, the quality of your audio is not too good. At least from my end.
I think the mic is from your end. I think it's from your end. I mean.
All right.
Okay.
That's DJ.
All right, so we're cool, right?
Yeah, let's do the let's bring in the Honorable Vice President.
Thank you. So my name is Sando Johnson. Can you guys hear me? Because I'm hearing some distractions in the background.
Yeah, if you're not talking, please put yourself on mute.
All right, so we're good now, right?
Yeah.
And apparently the other two guests you have on your show, I guess they are not on, but that's okay.
They're on. I got you solo. That's why they are on.
All right, that's fine. So again, I want to just use this time again to express our profound gratitude to you and your many audience for allowing us to come on your show today. My name is Sayondee Johnson. One of the reasons I like to put the B in, because there are so many of us with that name, both females and males. And so I try to put the B so that at least people know who I am. But yes, I am from Bowman County, both of my parents. I have lived in the Philadelphia area in the state of Pennsylvania for the last 3 decades. And over those years, I've been associated with different organizations. The Bowman County Association, to be precise. Serve in various capacities. The last position I had, I was the co-chairman of the board. I served as the president in the state of Pennsylvania for almost 10 years. I worked with the old timers, where I was also co-chair, the Gentlemen's Club. And yes, we are here today. I am the vice president of the Liberian Association. So I'll leave it right there for now. And if there are any other questions, any comments, any concerns, I'll be looking forward to responding to that as we get into the discussions. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Honorable VP. Thank you. Let's bring Her Excellency, Madam Kofa. How you doing? Welcome aboard. Tell us one or two things about yourself. I think you got to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Mrs. Saipode. I said it right.
Yeah,
I should know
fine.
it.
Yeah.
Because it's a Sinku. Well, I'm also from Sando County. My name is Sayondee. Everybody know. I've been in this community for the past 22 years. I've worked in this community, and I've been working with projects in this community along with organizations that I'm associated with. I'm a co-founder of the All Liberian Diaspora Women Organization. We've been carrying on projects such as census, the COVID-19 project, housing assistance project to our community. And also back home, we have students on scholarship back home who work on projects. We work in maternity homes, so we help in the maternity transit home to carry some, clothes and medical supplies there. But I have been working even in the American community for a while. I volunteered at during the Hurricane Katrina, and I've been volunteering in various organizations in this community, and I saw the structure of those organizations and how things work. And so I decided to join the Liberian Association. starting with the Bus County Association. I'm a member of the Bus County Association for the past maybe 5-6 years now. And great people, a lot of support during the death of my late father, Mr. Kofa, Joseph Kofa. They all came in and supported me. And I saw the structure of all that. And so I have so many friends in Pennsylvania, in the state of Philadelphia, especially in the state of Philadelphia. And during the COVID, I happened to be on that side, relocating now, but visiting friends. I stayed there for a while and so I became a part of the association there also, joined the COVID-19 team, which Mr. Johnson and I, we help with the COVID-19 project within the community. But I've known Mr. Johnson for more than 20 years, for as long as I've been here. He's a friend of mine. I know his wife, she's a good friend of mine. And so when I decided to join the association, both in Philadelphia, Bus County and in Philadelphia, and then I saw what was going on and how it runs, and I saw there was a need for a leadership that encouraged me to come on board. And then I asked Mr. Johnson to join me. And I have very fine gentlemen and women that have come to this cause to bring our community to a new, different level. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. Is that elect or president?
President.
Okay.
We're going beyond that elect. We're inducted on the 8th of October.
Okay.
So we started the work already. Even though we
Excellent.
started before even the induction, but we are now, the faces of the community.
All right. So I heard that you started the work already. So what are you doing currently?
Is that me? Okay, well, let me start by saying that we saw the need of unity within our community, and the reason why there's so many fractions of many organizations, I think within the state, just within Philadelphia, I counted more than 40 different organizations, and then out of Philadelphia. So I think they were doing that because they wanted to come. Everybody wanted to have some sense of belonging, and helping their community here and back home. So, but there was always the Liberian Association of Pennsylvania that existed. But maybe for some reason, at some point in time, they were not reaching out to those people, or they were not together, as one to understand that we have one organization that can be the head and help to, coordinate, collaborate, and mobilize and do things together as a community that will represent us, within the community, within the state, within the government and all of that. So we see there's a need for that. So we have started working on a unity piece, bringing every Liberian organization together. Hopefully this week we're going to have a meeting with all the organizations head and tell them, ask them for a way forward and how we can unite our community as one. We are working on doing some leadership retreat and programs. We are working on bringing the youth on board, because those are the ones that are the future, and they felt left behind at some way. Just this gone Saturday, we visited the Muslim Mandingo community, and they were very glad to come on board to be included. So we are working on a unity piece, and we know we have more work to do. But I yield to my vice president so he can add on to what I said.
All right. So you basically asked what we have been doing, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So just in addition to what the president said, we ran on one of the pillars we ran on had to do with inclusiveness in our community. We noticed, that there has been people have been completely disconnected, been detached from the Liberian Association. So over the last 3-4 weeks, we have been building relationships. We have been building partnerships. We have been engaging people in our community. We have been motivating people. We also have participated in series of meetings, not only with our Liberian counterparts, but even people from the state level, from the city government. We participated in one meeting with the Mayor's Commission on African and Caribbean Affairs, where the president participated in that, and we have another meeting coming up, I believe, the second Tuesday. That basically is where people go, just to give just basic listed some of the projects that you want to undertake, and then you solicit help, funds, and all of that, so that we can bring some growth and productivity to our community. That besides the point, on, I would say, the average of at least 4 events every Saturday. That has never happened over the years that I've lived here. We are going from funerals to functions to meetings. As the president just read this stated on, I believe it was on Friday, just on a very short notice, we met with the Mandingo community on Woodland Avenue. They were very excited. They felt very detached from the community. They have not been invited to functions. And so we were able to bridge that gap. The youth, as the president mentioned, were able to engage them. Our Assistant Secretary General is here. He can tell you the Sports Association, the Unity Tournament. Our administration was the first to get heavily involved in terms of, mobilizing people to go to the soccer game. And we even provided the team with, it was not a lot, but we made a contribution financially. And those are the things we've been doing in the community for the very short time that we have been on. Currently, as you may know, we are gearing up for our inauguration that will be coming up next week, Saturday. We are encouraging people in the community, if you have not purchased your tickets yet, please go online. We have them. You don't even have to give us cash.
Mr. Johnson,
we
we're going
everything right there.
We're going to the inaugural. I think it's a major thing that we are here for today. But you spoke of people being detached from the community, or people are being excluded. Can you give a sense of why people were excluded from the community?
Well, I wouldn't say excluded. Sometimes it depends on leadership. One of the reasons people get into leadership is so that you can have influence on people, right? So that you get to engage and motivate them so that they become actively engaged, become participants of what, the broader picture is. Now, if you happen to be in leadership and you are not providing those you're not appealing to people in terms of what really gets them excited, they will not be a part. And that's exactly what it is. Before we even decided to run, we did just a quick study on why, people were not in the community. And you would be shocked to know that most of the things that people, kept people away, they felt that they were not being, people did not include them into what they were doing. There was something like just a leadership that has to do with selected people. And so people felt that what's the need? We don't have to be a part of this. And so we decided, if you look at the pillars, we were very practical. We didn't go into making promises to build bridges where there aren't any rivers. We said we'll go strictly into building partnerships and bringing people together so that we can move the community forward. Because we noticed that most people, with the talent we have in this community, there shouldn't be any reason why in the last 15 years or more, we still cannot account for anything in this community. So we decided that we're going to bring people together first. Once you bring people together, a lot of the other things I think will fall in place. But people just felt that there were not enough done to get them on board. People were not appealing to them. And so that would be the only reason why I would give. If the president wants to add on that, that would be fine. But I don't think people were being actively engaged for them to participate in the process. And so people just sat back and remain into their own factions that they have going on. But we don't want to do that. We want everybody to be on board, because we feel with the effort of everybody, there will be growth and productivity in the community. It really don't have to be just with the president and I, but we want to set a trajectory that even people who will come after us, they can move on what we are leaving behind and just have a smooth transition.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Johnson. The secretary is going back and forth here. Madam President, you want to supplement what the VP said, or we can just go on to something else?
Well, let me just say this. I think the vice president was saying people felt excluded. You know, people felt excluded because they felt they were not being reached out to. They felt they were not getting the same services as other people. You know, so that's the feelings and feedback we got from them when we went out there to talk to the community. They felt they were not getting the services that others were getting. And maybe in our services field, with the organization that I'm with, we try to reach everybody. And I saw, that because the organization is registered in Delaware County, so certain services were given to just Delaware County residents. But if we have an association and we know that these services is for everybody, because the services goes around in every county, in every part of the state. But if we have a representation in all of those areas, the services can reach everybody in the entire state. So, like one thing we mentioned about while we're visiting the Manigo community, what we told them, I told them that there were things like the rental assistance program that was going on, COVID-19 assistance program that was going on. And one of the ladies said, my first time hearing that we have problem with rent here. There was a program to help people to pay the rent. I said, yes. She said, you see, now we don't know these things. So that is the breach we are trying to close. We want people to know that when our community, if we are, as leaders, can bring this, they have the information, we can share the information with our entire community if we have equal representation, from every community. Like we have, 16 tribes or more, I think now. But, if we can reach to all those tribals, association heads, and everybody within the association, if we can reach them, then we can reach the entire body. Then we'll be covering the entire community. Now we have a community in Pittsburgh, Liberian Association community in Coatesville, a Liberian Association community in Bucks County. All these people we have reached out to, and we hope that everybody will come on board. So when anything is going on within the state of PA, they will be a part of it.
All right, excellent. Mr. Secretary, I don't want you to be excluded. Anything you want to add up to what your bosses said?
No, the president and vice president spoke very well. There's nothing more I can add because those are the platforms we ran on in the first place. Inclusiveness in the community activity, youth involvement, and empowerment, women empowerment, and all of these things. So I see that the president is working very hard to be able to gap the bridge and get all these organizations who were autonomous of the Liberian Association of Pennsylvania for a long time together under one umbrella. I commend and say thanks to her and foresight in doing these things. So I cannot speak more than what my boss has spoken.
All right, that's fair enough. I heard women empowerment. I got 6 girls. So, Madam President, what are the things that you want to do when you're talking about empowerment? What exactly are you bringing to our ladies?
Well, women, the issue of women, I don't want to delve into that deep, but we know there are a lot of issues when it comes to how women live and progress within the community. We are in a world that is very progressive and democratic and has a lot of respect for women presence. And we need to take advantage of that opportunity to empower our women and make them to progress and let them know the opportunity or the places they have to go or the choices they have to make. One thing we all know, gentlemen, is that sometimes women are taken advantage of, through their relationships, through their jobs, and other things, social issues and things around them. One of the things that really caught my eye was one of the fact that one of the members of the community told me that he has a home where he has women who go through domestic violence. And these women need services, yes. He has a home. And of course, it comes with the fact that where we come from, our country, Liberia, you know, is a hush-hush culture when it comes to domestic violence with women. And so sometimes they don't want to go out there to the police, and they don't want to put their husbands in trouble, even though they are going through some abuse or something like that. But I mean, there's a way to do it and for you to survive, because you know, the way out is to not have, if you don't have someone they can talk to or someone they can trust on these issues, they get withdrawn and depressed, and they go back into a stage where, you know, they regress and certain things they need to do in their life. Now, women are the ones who have children. Sometimes they are left with the burden of raising the child or their children. So we want to reach out to those women, and we'll have a women conference. We'll let women know there are opportunities and things out there you can do when you fall in such situations. You know, you can still have a job. You know, you can go through counseling. You know, you can do stuff for your children. That you are not the victim. You know, I mean, you are the victim. You are not, you know, the one who caused what happened to you. So you can come out there and still progress. You know, there's opportunity for you to even further your education if you are not at a certain level. So we want to bring those kind of programs in with women on our social services to improve, you know, the work of our, you know, community organization.
All right, my person is splendid. That's well said. I want you to talk about your B day that is coming up. I mean, any information that you want the people to know, please go ahead.
Well, as you all know, this is the 44th election of the Liberian Association in the state of Pennsylvania. And I happen to be the first female elected president. Coming from the great guys within the community who understood that it's about time, and they know that there's someone who's coming to take us further. We can join along with her. Great guys, especially my vice president, I'll always say, who has been in the community for 3 decades and knows everything and has been working for the community all those years, and decided, okay, I will come along with you. So our inaugural ball is coming up on November 12th, 2022, which is about 2 weeks from now, at the Canister Ballroom. The Canister Ballroom is on 9130 Academy Road in Northeast Philadelphia, 19114. Now, I always said that the central point of a lab is always in the South Philly area. I'm from the Northeast, and there are other organizations popping up from around there. And I told them this time is going to be different. We are going to have functions in the South area, Southwest. We are going to have functions in the Northeast. We're going to have functions in Coatesville. Even Pittsburgh is possible. We're going to do that. So to start it up, you know, we decided that we'll bring the inaugural ball back in the Northeast, which is a central point, so everybody can be able to attend. And when asking the people in Southwest to come over, they are all excited and willing to do that. So the location and time is Saturday, November 12th, 2022, 2 weeks from now, 2 Saturdays from now. And at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. will be arrival time. And the program will start at 7 p.m. prompt, because we are in that ballroom from that time to 12 p.m. So we want people to come on time. There's a lot of people will be there. People want to get involved and see what's going to go on. They want to hear what we have to say. Our guest speaker is Mr. Stanley Slaughter. Mr. Slaughter is the chairman of the board of the Mayor's Commission on African and Caribbean Affairs. This mayor and that commission, we started with the Liberian community. It actually started with Liberians coming together and saying, you know, all organizations from Africa and the Caribbean should come together. He's the mayor for that commission. And so he's proud and honored to be the guest speaker for this great inaugural program, because he has a lot to offer to our community. So I want everybody to be there and don't miss this important date. There's a VP.
Including you, voice of Sando Diaspora.
Of course, I want you to be there.
The cameras there.
We'll be there to cover the program. So, Madam
We'll be able
President,
to cover this all important historic event.
Yes.
Where the first
Madam President,
female elected president of the Liberian Association in Pennsylvania will be inaugurated in all her splendor.
all right, yeah, I'll be there because she told me she's the daughter of Sando County. You know, I'm the voice of SINOE. You know,
great.
so
Oh, you have to be. Now it's a must.
All right. So, but Madam President, I know you the big people that you pay plenty of money to go inside. How much for the small people then?
I will let my VP elaborate on that.
No, but my man, you're now a small man, no. But actually, our tickets are actually the prices range from 100, 200, and 250. So for a person like you, who I know you have a very huge fan base, so even dropping $200 or $250 would just be a little drop. It would just be a little drop in the bucket for you.
Yeah, I enjoy politicians, man. They don't have to talk.
Yeah, but before going back to the question you asked, I want to just go right back to the female empowerment that the president spoke about, and I wanted to just expound a little bit on that. You know, I have 2 daughters. And as the president was speaking, I was writing some of the things that I think that would just be attributes of female empowerment or women's empowerment. So let's look at it against this standpoint. Just the president, you know, in the midst of men. I mean, I'm talking about powerful men in the state of Pennsylvania. She went right through us, bulldozed away, and became president in the midst of everybody. So that in itself tells you that every little girl that is growing up today in the state of Pennsylvania, in our own community, there is something called a sense of personal worth. You know, her ascendancy to the presidency should just be an indication that every little woman or every little girl sitting today watching us can go to wherever. The sky is the limit. There is a playing field. There's nothing like, you know, people should feel discriminated because of their sex or because of their age or because of the way they look or because of the way they speak. And so that alone is just an empowerment in itself. So I'll leave it right there for now, and then I'll go back to the program that is coming up. One of the reasons why we feel that it would be highly appreciated if we have a lot of people to the event. There's so many projects that we want to undertake, and as you may know, in order to run these programs, you have to have money. And so this is one of the events that we think will help us to raise enough money to get us going, while subsequently we design other strategies to raise money. But to your question, we have ordinary tickets for $100. We have another for $200. And then the VIP is $250.
Okay, so what do we get when we pay the $200 or $100? What is in there that we're going to get?
Well, I mean, now if you pay $100, I mean, you will have fun over there. Everything is, we have enough drinks and food. But I think if you pay above that, the $200, patrons $250 is VIP. If you pay that, I think the services will be different. I don't think you will have to stand in line, you know, to be given, you know, your food and drinks. You will be served, and most likely, you will have access to the president and her team.
Okay.
But let me say this, okay?
Yeah.
You said the sponsorship. Because we are raising, you know, money. We know there are people here, there are the business people and people like you, you know, who will come and do the live broadcast. We will call you guys sponsors. Now, you wouldn't be sitting down just among the guests. You would be doing all of that because you would be broadcasting the show and all of that. So that's why, you know, we gave you that amount. That's a little, it's just the name, but the contribution to the cause. The VIP, the very important people who got in. To me, everybody's important. But we call these people very important people because we know the up there in successful, maybe high in government or high in big businesses, and we know they have a lot to offer to us who are just starting. So we just give them that very important people name so they can bring their contribution. But everybody will be there at the same place and at the same time. Everybody is important, but it's just a way of asking for, more contribution to our projects that we are about to initiate.
All right, so my partner, I heard projects. What are the projects you want to initiate?
Well, the first thing is being this community and as this organization, we need to start. I mean, we see the challenge of trying to put in a structure. So common things like office supplies or the computer or stuff to do our communications are things that we need. And we need an office space. Okay, we can come from a room to go to a house, right? I know everybody in the community say they want a community center or community center. For me and for our team, we look at it and we understand it. We know that there's a need for it. But how do you sustain this community center? So that sustainability aspect is what we are looking at first before you will build the building. So we will probably have to come into ideas of having some business or so attached to the association to be able to sustain that building, that community project or community center we're going to build. So there's a need for a hall where Liberians want to come and have their parties and gather and do stuff. But we need to find a way to maintain that hall. So we're taking the baby steps. We need an office. We need the materials and other things to run an office. We need someone to direct the affairs of the community. Okay. Well, I mean, we are there. We're going to start doing that. And then we can go to the big building. That's just one of the projects. The other project comes with the social services that I talked to you about earlier.
Okay.
Getting to the people, housing assistance, and jobs for our people, how our people can navigate the system, how our people can get the benefits that they are entitled to, taking away the fear, having a community person who will work along with the police and the state. We already have a community relations committee, and we have a head of that committee who will be working along with the police and the state, just in case, there's a problem with our community and the police and the state. We're bringing in the health community. They are going to be working on projects. We want them to start on projects such as taking preventive measures, to sickness and diseases and stuff. And of course, this disaster committee, we're going to have people who will be there in place if there's a disaster. Within our community, those are the people that are going to reach out to the government and the city and see how our community can have, the benefit or the part that they need to play within such, situation. So those are the things we are planning to put in place, to have a complete community working, a structured community going on.
Okay, excellent.
So
go ahead.
Can I just add on that? If
Sure.
The president is done. The president spoke on a wide range of issues that I think that are very significant to the growth of this community. And just in addition to all of the salient points she made, we also want to engage into the share of the dissemination of information in our community. Now, if you had to travel just about 25 minutes outside the boundaries of Philadelphia, like where the Assistant Secretary General lives, and you ask about the Liberian Association, I can bet to both of my late parents, someone will probably ask you, what is the Liberian Association? What do they do? Who are they? And so our team during the election decided that one of the things we also wanted to call a very quick impact project would be the share of information, so that anyone that is part of the Liberian Association, it does not matter where you live within a close proximity to Southwest, but we want the information to go out there so at least you know what is happening in the community. So we want to embark on a journey where people will have access to information. If, for instance, anything happened to one Liberian today in Southwest Philadelphia, we want someone who lives in Bucks County, in Chester County, and the other nearby counties, we want them to have access to that information so that they know what is going on. We noticed that over the years, one of the reasons why the Liberian Association is not popular is because they did not extend the association outside of Southwest Philadelphia. We were right in Boston, and the Secretary General is here. He can tell you he campaigned with us there. A lot of people did not even, they saw LAP as a Southwest, association. So we want to spread it in places like Lancaster, Arlington, County, specifically Coatesville and Westchester. We were just in Coatesville this gone Saturday, and the president can attest to that. We got a rousing welcome over the years. If it happened, I am not aware, but just based on the information they share with us, they were very excited to see us that we are building relationships and partnerships with all of the Liberians in those areas. So those are some of the quick impact projects we want to undertake before we can even move to the bigger things. Let everybody that are under the umbrella of the Liberian Association have access to the information. Let them know what is happening.
VP, you are mute. Did somebody call you? We are not hearing you, sir.
Yes, sir. I think it's all right.
They are not even linked to community resources, as the president elaborated on. But these are things we want everybody to have access to. If we are going on the Old Thomas Field today,
it's off again.
Counties.
Yeah.
Know that, okay, on Saturday.
It was like that. I think it's the server.
Be initiating
like
XYZ, and we want everybody to come there. So that is where we'll be headed. All right. So I'll leave it right there for now.
VP, you spoke of. I mean, you trying to disseminate the information around communication and all of that, and you guys going around is hectic. Do you have a system in place that you use to propagate the information to the community?
Yes, indeed. The Secretary General, the Assistant Secretary General is right here.
Let me
jump in that
real quick.
Jump in. He's the communication man.
Yeah, let me jump into that real quick. I have been working with the Secretary General Jerry Colette on how to be able to structure communication throughout the state of Pennsylvania. We have a general coordinator. I want you to be aware of that. The general coordinator are the one who she will be able to get with this very organization as well. But we have to work along with her office and with the president's vision to be able to spread the message around to the various communities in Pennsylvania. Because we are coming as one community now. So we are putting that into place. I want to tell you this: we're rebuilding this community from scratch.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Mr. Togbah, is that something concrete that you guys are putting in place to get information out there? I mean, there should be some sort of system in place to get the information out to the people. All right, Madam President, when you were talking earlier, you spoke of the community hall, which is the good thing, but I think that was a project your opposition they ran on. Did they turn that project over to you guys, or you guys are working together to acquire that for us?
Well, I've asked them to come on board and bring in their ideas so we can all work on this project together. My opposition, I don't want to say my opposition. My colleague said it's a project he showed that can be done within 15 to 18 months. So I asked him to come on board and help us, now that we are one, he's also the member of the community, and see how we can work on this project within the time frame or more, or whatever it is. But we need to have a plan, as to where we are going to. Our house, Rome was not built in today's time. So it's a process. To me, it's a process. And so we are working along together. Hopefully they will come on board full force, and we'll all do this together to make this a reality of what the people want. But our team, we were very realistic during the campaign, telling people, we understand, we hear your voices, we know there's a need for the community center, but it's a process. You know, you have to go to the city. There are city ordinances. Their requests have to be made. There are projected budget, and and it's fundraising to do all of that, and it takes time. We want to do it. We're not going to give a specific time, but we hope to start it up. And the next administration can continue it, or hopefully it will be done. But this is where we stand. But for me, we need to start to structure starting from the room, which is an office space, and then we can start working on the project.
Okay. Speaking of you say your colleague. Okay, so I'll use that word. When we put out the notification for this program today, he wrote something on it. I want to share that with you guys. This is what he said.
Right.
He said, Daniel Riches and Dr. put esoteric. I consider meetings after the results were announced and pledged to work with Mr. Sayondee Kofa's leadership. However, I found it strange that the Secretary General, who has been working tirelessly to make this program a success, was not informed that a leadership was going on a talk show to promote the inaugural ball. Instead, the Assistant Secretary General, who has been away since the election due to personal issue, is going on the show. So, I mean, there's a major concern over there you're raising. Why the Secretary is not on with you guys?
Let me say this. If I can vividly record, we had a meeting on, was it Friday, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Friday.
On Friday. The Secretary was there, and the Assistant Secretary was there. And the assistant, we talked about doing some promotions, on shows and stuff for the inauguration coming up. And the Assistant Secretary Mr. Togbah said, I would like you guys to go on this show. So I said, what is the show? He said, well, you guys are talking about spoon show, you're talking about custard show, but there's this show that I'd like you to go on. So I said, he called and he mentioned your name. I said, well, I haven't been on that show before. I think I've heard his name. But since you are the person who knows it, so I know him, I can get in touch with him. I said, okay, well, you make the arrangements, and get back to us. He said, okay, I will make the arrangement and get back to us. So I said, well, since you know him and you're making the arrangements, he said, well, can I come? I said, yeah, sure, you can come on. It's a show. Everybody can come on the show. Anybody can come on the show to talk about the inaugural ball. I don't think it's a problem, so you can come on. But you make the arrangement when it's done. You let us know, let us the time, and then we'll all come on the show. The Secretary was there. He called me afterwards. He was there when that discussion went on, and said he was there, but he did not hear the discussion. So I said, well, you were supposed to be taking minutes and everything, and there are certain discussions that you didn't hear. He said, no, my president, I didn't hear that discussion. I said, well, he said it right there before he left. In fact, he left before you. So I thought you heard. He said, no, I didn't. I said, okay, well, the show will be on. You can come on the show. I think it's a show that will be on Facebook and everywhere else. You can come on. It's a show. He said, okay, Madam President. I said, okay. So that was the discussion we had. But let me say this. I'm going to say this in a public manner. I've told the Secretary General that since he's been elected, he's a part of the team. And we're supposed to be working together. Maybe I should say this publicly. And the idea of carrying complaints back to Mr. Foley to explain or to express his grievances is not the right way to go. And whenever he does that, they all plan to come up public and publish it. And it happened before. This is the second or the third time. He said, Madam President, no, I'm sorry, that will not happen again. I said, well, if you express your grievances to me and we can solve the problem, we can sit and talk about it. I'm not the kind of person who's looking at people from different party ground and structure and things like that. But the way it's going now, it seems to me like he's there on a team, has an opposition to the team. And it shouldn't be that way. And I will not condone that. We're not condone such behavior. If he's willing to work, we will work. If he's willing, if he's coming on as an opposition to the team, then thankfully we have an assistant secretary we have to use half a secretariat because the business of the organization has to go on. And people need to understand that people make choices. That's why we have elections. If they feel that the right people, if people choose the right people to come in, and it's supposed to move forward from there. I don't think my secretary has come to the point of understanding that we now have an association, a team of people, and he's a part of the executive for us to work on. For what I just hear in the bread, because this is not the first time it has happened, where there's something that we talk about within the organization, and he takes it back. I've never heard Mr. Foley talk about the positive things we talk about with the secretary. It's always the negative things and the complaints from the secretary. I've never seen a posting or the talk and say, oh, LAP is doing well. You know, the secretary expressed this and that, you know, that they are structuring, they're trying to bring unity, they are working on projects. I guess that information should be in the background for Mr. Foley. The information he's interested in is the negative part of it. My question here is, how do we work together? I've talked to him.
President, you are in charge. So
yeah, I've called him and told him we can work together, or we have projects, and I'm expressed that he can come on the committee to work if he's interested in whatever committee. If not, if there's a need I see for him to put somewhere, I will give him a call, but he knows the committees. We've met several times, we shake hands, we talk, we laugh and everything. But I noticed the only comments he's made about this association so far has been the negative comments of what we don't do instead of what we do. So that's why I'm asking him. The question is, how do we work together? Because we will not be working for the negatives. We'll be working to perform duties and progress this community association, you know, to a better level. So I'm urging Mr. Foley and Mr. Jerry Calais, who is the secretary, to please come on board as team members and not oppositions to the Liberian Association. They are Liberians, they are members, they are entitled to come and do tough stuff for the community and association. I'm asking them in this public manner to stop the idea of being the negatives and oppositions of things that go wrong, and let's work together. And Mr. Carter knows me. I told him a person, when I don't like something, I tell you. When things go wrong, you talk to me, I'll correct it right there and then, and we'll move forward. But I want Mr. Carter to know in this public manner, we will not work along like that. If he's competent to do the job, he will not be doing what he's doing. He doesn't have to go complain to somebody who was in opposition and will continue to just say things in the opposite side of the community, in the interest of this organization. I'm urging him to stop doing this. He and Mr. Foley, you know, as they were going to be having their own problem, because we're going to move on and do things we need to do to progress within this community. You know, maybe it's that problem of negativity. If that's how they want to live within the community of people, it's up to them. But I will let the community know, and I'm letting the community know that now that these people have come on board, I've been doing my best to work along with them. If there's things that's going wrong, Mr. Cullen, the secretary, we talk about it. He does stuff that I don't like. I'm not going to say it publicly. You know, I'm not going to say here, this is what Mr. Cullen did, and this is what he did, and this is what he didn't do. According to his duty, he should do this, and he didn't do that. I'm not going to talk about here in the public. I'm just urging them to know that this is a team, this is an organization that has been formed to carry out the duty and work of this community, and asking them to come on board in a positive mind so that we progress. Thank you.
But to be clear, yeah, go ahead, Mr. President, VP, go ahead.
So let me just add, and I think it's interestingly, we came on the show because we wanted to propound, you know, on the upcoming inaugural ball, which is slated for next week, Saturday. And I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. I can say that. What difference does it make if Mr. Kole is not even on today? The Assistant Secretary General is here. So you would think that this thing would be coordinated between both of them. Seriously, I was even under the impression that the Secretary General couldn't be on because of his hectic work schedule. He has said to us repeatedly that anywhere during the morning hours to 3 p.m., he might not be available. So if the Assistant Secretary General is on today, so I think the best way forward is to probably coordinate it with him or even reach out to us he have access to order us. I noticed, that you will be going on the show, and I am not. Is there any reason why I will not be on the show? We'll give you a proper redress. But to have a second or third party, writing on the show just to totally distract what we are here for, I don't think serves the community well. So we'll not dwell on that. I think the president have succinctly made those points. We handed down the executive level. We are here today to talk about what we need to do for next week Saturday, and we'll move on. So I'll yield back to you, Mr. Moderator.
All right, Togbah, you want to say something? Your phone microphone is mute.
I'm sorry. Let me say something. I didn't know my microphone was mute. The VP said it all. Mr. Colette, in the last meeting we had, the executive meeting we had, Mr. Colette clearly stated that anything before 3 p.m., he would not be a part of it. So therefore, when we contacted you, this was coming up at 11 o'clock a.m. Mr. Colette is at work handling his own personal business for his family. So it would not be fair to him and his family to force him in the agenda and leave his work and get penalized at work for this. However, you see, the president have, well, I would say in hindsight, he have 20/20 vision, because the fact of the matter is that those divisive politics that is being played is uncalled for. And for us, we are not looking at division in this community. Mr. Foley well knows me, and I have a lot of respect for him. Mr. Foley, if he had any reservation whatsoever, he should have come I'm saying this to you right now. He is an ordinary Liberian living in Pennsylvania. The statutation of political leader or party leader for his side has been obligated, because after we have won, everything else ceases to exist. It's one community, one vision, one people. Therefore, if he have a reservation as a Liberian living in Pennsylvania, all you gotta do is channel it through the proper way. Contact the administration and voice his opinion. So I'm not gonna come here and my bosses are already said it all. I don't want to come here, in the 48 law of power, you can ask.
Okay, Freeman. Okay.
Yeah, so I will always be the small guy behind them. Everybody, there's that. Everybody have that time. This is the president and the vice president time for two terms. After that, then anybody who else want to explore any avenue, you are welcome to do that. But for now, my bosses said it best, and I'm going to stand by what they say. We are not here for divisive politics. We are here for our community, one community, and we on this show to push out the inauguration, which Mr. Foley would pay $100 to go to, and he was sitting in the audience, and when he played nice, we recognize you. But you got to be very, very, very.
If he doesn't play nice, what will happen?
If he doesn't play nice,
we recognize him.
We will continue our program. Yeah. If you play, all people. Let me be real with you. Let me get all of my share a little bit. Go
ahead.
When it comes to what you call Garteh politics, I am yet to see my march in Philadelphia. I'm not saying in America, but in Philadelphia. When it comes to propaganda, I'm yet to see my march in Philadelphia. But I have something that most people wish to have, which is what you call restraint, self-restraint. There are some things we just overlook and laugh, because I know when I bounce on you, you have no resistance against my aggression I will bring to you, so to speak. We have to get away, and I want not just Foley, people who behind him also. We have to get away from the idea that we own this, we're member of the team, so therefore whatever the team, who are the former head will say, that you got to get away from that. You don't, and you have to be able to come. And if you want the people of Pennsylvania to vote you in the office, they want to see how you work with the people that are already in power. If you
Thank
have no
you.
working relationship with these people that are in power, you feel that you are an ally and you want to stay as an opposition. It's good to be opposition to judgment us. It's good, but you must be constructive. Have constructive criticism of what we are doing on policy issues, not on personal issues. If we have policy that is not benefiting the community, then you come on and come after us on that. Then we will be able to review our policies and stuff like that. But not on, I will make sure I fight. You can't fight this administration. They bring power in the administration too plenty for you. Just know that one. Point blank. We are too plenty. And we have people who listen to us too. So how you fight us? Mr. Foley, I'm calling on Mr. Foley. I would now want to call Mr. Honorable Jerry Collier. I will call on Mr. Foley first to lay down his arms and stop small arms firing, because we don't have small arms to fire back. That's why we are not fire back. We got past you guys then to throw to your way. So stop the small arms firing, lay down your arm, wave your work flag that you did on the day of the election. Come and say, Madam President, how is it that we can work together to be able to make this community go forward? Then when the people see your cooperation, they will know that you have political maturity. With political maturity after Sayondee's second term, then people may already consider you. But you cannot be on the outside and say, the woman didn't even take office yet, then you say you're voting. The way the woman has done comparatively in the first 3 months, you cannot compare it to the last 3 or 4
Togbah, I just want to interrupt you a little bit. I covered the election, right? Yeah. And I mean, I was also reading the Constitution in preparation for this program, and the positions, the elected position, the assistant secretary also has to be elected. I didn't see you. Did you guys have extra elections somewhere?
I was on the ballot. You know,
okay.
The fact of the matter is this: if we never had secretary, this is what happened. This is the politics I play. We had a secretary general on the ballot, Honorable Steve Benner. So this guy is a journalist over the years. I have a lot of respect for him. Very smart guy, very, very smart guy. So I went as assistant secretary general to him. Then Jerry Collier was opposing him on the other team. You understand me? So therefore, 1 minute for election.
The day of the election.
The day of the election, the day before the election, actually, they disqualified him. So
no, they just took him off the ballot.
That's what I'm saying. They took him off the ballot.
The day of the election.
So now, Collier is running unopposed. I'm running unopposed. But it was a situation whereby we had no secretary general. What do you think will happen? I will brought all of my assault weapons and turn it to that, and blow them all of existence politically. So therefore, fortunately for Mr. Collier, he's on the team, on a post, because this guy was taken out. Now the thing is that we have to be able to work as a group, as a team. I spoke with Mr. Collier the other day. I don't think, let me be real, let me be fair to Mr. Collier. I don't think Mr. Collier has a problem with anything that happened here now. You don't have no problem with it. I think the politics of Mr. Foley is to make it look like Mr. Collier complaining to him. Mr. Collier complaining to him. Mr. Collier had no problem with this, because he has stated in the meeting that anything before 3 o'clock, don't come inside, I'll be to work. So how you get a problem with it? When we call you, will be unavailable. So Mr. Foley should not make it look like Mr. Collier have a problem. And I think it would be a justice of Mr. Collier if he comes up and says, Mr. Foley, please wait. I told the people I cannot make it. So what you are saying, you should speak on your own behalf and not on for me. So because if Mr. Collier take that step, then we know Mr. Collier is not involved into divisive politics in the community. Because these are things that have propensity of, sending negative messages. That Mr. Collier complaining to him. Mr. Collier complaining to you. They may take a point and say, So it never look like we are silencing Mr. Kola because Mr. Kola himself said we don't want to be part of this show because you have work duties for your family. You gotta go to 8 hours, so to speak.
Okay, fair enough.
So Mr. Foley is a lone wolf fighting a battle that he cannot win.
Okay, so Madam President.
Yes, sir.
I think your vice president, when you spoke earlier, or you said he has been in the community for like 3 decades or something like that, if I got you correctly.
Right.
Is there a reason? I mean, I heard you saying also you are fighting to get a community office or office for us before you go to a hall. I mean, is there a reason why? I mean, for 3 decades we don't have an office for the organization?
Oh, I wish I could tell you that, but I don't have an answer for that.
Okay.
I have not been involved with the association for 2 or 3 decades.
Okay.
I just got involved with the association in the past 5 or 6 years or so. So I don't know why, but we are in a structured society where when you do work, you get paid for the work. And organization work, especially the Liberian Association work, is not something that they get paid for. Maybe it's some of the reason why. That's why we're looking at trying to structure it in a way that if I have to give my 8, 12, 24 hours service to a work, maybe if somebody gets paid for it, they would do it the way, because they're getting paid for it. Our community sometimes can be very demanding on what they want for the community, but they're not prepared to provide what is needed for the demands. So I think those are some of the reasons why, they haven't been on that structured path. Because I have to work to support my family and do things for myself. I have a son who is in college, who stays on board, and I have to help to pay his school fees. So I need to work. But if community members are calling me from 6 o'clock in the morning to 12 midnight, and they want me to do this project, and they want us to do this, and they want us to do that. Now think about it, Sometimes, so the leaders, I won't blame them. They did their best. Sometimes it's difficult to do, It takes sacrifice when it comes to community work that is not being paid for. Maybe those are some of the reasons why. I'm not trying to say I'm coming in there to get paid, but it's just a sacrifice.
You said they're doing the best for 3 decades. You can get an office. Is that the best they can give us?
I wish I had the answer for you for that, but an office means somebody to be there to run the affairs of the organization, right? So maybe they didn't have in budget or in mind that we need to get somebody to stay there and run the affairs, the 24-hour service or the affairs of the organization. Well, maybe we can change that. Maybe we can change that structure into a different structure to see, if we have an office and have somebody who's running the affairs. It's only fair enough that our office staff gets paid. So I was just putting it out there to say, but we need to have, a way of doing things that will work. I mean, it's possible, it's doable. I don't know why it hasn't been that way for the past years, but that's why we are looking at the possibility, exploring the possibilities of doing things in a way that would be, structured and sustainable too. So we have to sit and think about that.
Okay, all right, Madam President, thank you. So as we wind down, I don't want to keep you for too long, but a few things I wanted to get clear here. So I was reading the Constitution, and Article 1 of the Constitution, that's section 2 of the Constitution. It talks about the headquarters of the organization. They say Pennsylvania. Where exactly is the headquarters? In Philadelphia. You got to say the headquarters of the association shall be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But it didn't tell us exactly in Philadelphia where the headquarters is. Where can we find the headquarters?
Well, usually within, let me see what they've been doing throughout the years that I learned is that whosoever the president is, the president's residence becomes the headquarters because. And not to forget, it started on a little streamline of people, small organization of people who decided to come together and bring the Liberian community together. So I guess, the headquarters was always, the president's residence, or if you found a place. However, during the past few years, I learned that an office space from the city was given to the association, and but due to certain circumstances, they were trying to renovate which needed renovation and other stuff. And in the process of doing that, while they were in the process of trying to renovate and use it as the headquarters, the official headquarters, the building got burned. So we go back to square one, as the headquarters being maybe the president's residence, until we can find a suitable office or place. But that we are trying to work on as soon as possible, because there's a need to have an office. Even we can go to a fiscal agent to have a permanent address. We're going to have to do that, because we need to have that structure in place. And maybe my vice president can piggyback on what I said.
Right, and I got a little bit off because of the connections, and I kept trying to come in. But if you go on the website, in terms of the address, if you go on the website, it says 1155 South 54th Street. I mean, if you just do a quick Google on the Liberian Association headquarters, it tells you 1155 South 54th Street. That building, actually, that's the building the president was alluding to. That building was given to the previous administration. I think it was during Shehu Kamara's administration that building was given. They did some work on it, and that is the official headquarters of the Liberian Association. Regrettably, we have not, and I'm not sure any administration has actually used that structure. There's a lot of structural damage on that building, and so as it stands right now, the last time I checked, the building was in ruins. It got burned. And so I don't even think that the resources that we want to put into having an office space, we should even direct it towards that structure. Because I think a lot of structural damages on the building. That besides the point. The other issues that I wouldn't want to say here that are currently going on with the building. And so we're not even consider that now the headquarters of the Liberian Association. So whoever is the president most times, you use your address for now until, we figure out where, the association will be going.
Okay, all right. So another thing I want to talk about, I mean, I a lot of politics in the organization, and I read the Constitution. So, like, if you look at Article 2, Section Section 1, and you look at V. So it says here the association shall be a non-political and non-for-profit organization. But I'm seeing a lot of politics in the organization. How did we get here, Madam President, Mr. Vice President? It's clear in the Constitution, non-political. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
so we introduced parties, the other party. I mean, how we got to this point?
Well, but we are politicians by nature, right? And so politics is not, I would say it is not an act that you have to sit in class for. Politics has been a part of human nature from the church, even in our own homes. Our children, and I assume you have children, they even try to play politics with both parents. So what more about an organization? I had 3 kids. One would go to the mom and say, oh, okay, Lord, I need this. And when the mom says no, he turns around and come to me and say, oh, can I also have this? So politics is all over. And so the framers of this constitution, I feel, was only intended at the time so that they could provide social services and basic needs to people, to Liberians that were here. Matter of fact, the previous constitution, the article of incorporation at the time said the Delaware Valley. It did not, it included Delaware, South Jersey, and Pennsylvania. But over the years, it changed and became the Liberian Association of Pennsylvania. And so politics came into it. And now, as it is, I'm pretty sure that is not something that we can easily detach ourselves from. But let us not make any mistake. There are a lot of things that needs to be changed in the document that you just referenced. There are a lot of things that we are taking into consideration. Yes, immediately after the inauguration, the president probably mentioned that when I was out, but we'll be putting a committee together that will also look at all of the articles in the Constitution, couple of the issues that may be vague, and we want it to be, the Constitution should be a document that is clear. It should be clear on issues. But you look at the document that you reference, you will notice, that there could be some inconsistency. There could be some articles that are completely vague. They are not addressing the issue. You look at some of the roles of responsibilities in there. There are issues. You look at even the responsibility of the board. There are a whole lot of issues there that needs to be addressed once we, fully hit the ground and running after the inauguration. So there are issues, and I'm glad that you noticed that. But there are a lot of issues. If you go into the document, you will notice a lot of issues in there that needs to be addressed.
Okay, all right. I wish the president here. There's another final question because she has the authority on that one. But maybe the VP can opine on that. It's the same Constitution. They say there shall be a council of community leaders.
Right.
We shall comprise of heads of Liberian organizations, regional and sectional in Pennsylvania. Have you guys set up that council?
Well, the council is already in existence. Matter of fact, we are having a meeting that is coming up.
Mr. Togbah, could you put your phone on mute?
So a meeting is going to be held very soon. The chief of staff is currently working on that, and that meeting strictly will be based on community, like the folks you just referenced, all of the community heads of all the other associations in town and the elders. We have a meeting that will be coming up very soon. Matter of fact, I believe in one of our conversations with the president, I believe she wanted that meeting to be held sometime this week. The chief of staff is working on that. I'm not sure whether it will be done this week, but yeah, those are the people that you just referenced. They are the ones that we'll be meeting with to introduce ourselves to them and let them know that we are now, in leadership. And then, we start collaborating with them in terms of how how the community will move forward. But yes, the Constitution gave them the authority. Say, for example, if we wanted to make some changes, the very Constitution that you referenced, the president and I cannot just get up one day and say, look, we disagree with certain provisions in the Constitution that gave right to X, Y, Z, so we just carry on and do our own thing. No. Those are the people that we meet and tell them these are the issues that we think needs to be addressed. And then in collaboration with them, the leadership and the board, then we'll come up with a consensus to make those changes to the document.
Okay, Madam President, now you are on mute.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I was just asking because you were off, and so maybe you can address that. The Constitution, it gives you a responsibility. Section 9, it says here, there shall be a council of community leaders.
Right.
We shall comprise of heads of Liberian organizations.
Right.
Regional and social in Pennsylvania. The council shall serve as advisory to the president. Have you set up the committee?
We are working on our committee right now as we speak.
Okay.
Mr. Vice President told you, I saw that. And that's a very important part of the Constitution because they are serving as advisory committee, to us. So, and when I asked about who was the head and how are we, how can I get in touch with, the head committee on it? And the answer I got was they usually exist. They still exist. They just haven't been functioning, so it's up to you to bring them functioning. So I started calling them, the head of all those various county and organization committees, and asking them to come on board so we can start. I want this committee to be active because it's important. Besides, they are the members of the association, because they have various organizations that everybody is a part of. So my office chief of staff have already started contacting them, and we're in the process of sending out a communication to have a meeting. I would like to meet with them before the inauguration, and so they can start being active and functional again.
I think one of the reasons I prompted the question is that the Honorable Sayondee Kofa is the National Secretary General for the United Southwest Association in Americas.
Right.
And I think he is interested in that identical part of the Constitution because he affects him as a National Secretary. So I don't want to throw that in there.
No, not necessarily. I think it's like the president said, it's very important, because it is part of the Constitution.
No,
so if you don't settle that, then you are breaching the Constitution.
What I'm preempting is the what prompted the question very accurate. The president said it best, but I'm just saying to throw light on some other part.
Yeah, I mean, they are community. I just want to be inclusive, bring the people on board. It will makes the organization to be stronger. Because once you bring, like, I think that's the argument Foley was also making. Because if you bring all those people on, like the community leaders, they will bring their followers, and that will bring a lot of resources to the organization.
With all due respect, Honorable Sayondee Kofa, I don't think we should be mentioning Foley in the discussion. Giving free publicity. This is about the president and vice president inauguration, and we want to focus on that direction. We are enjoying being entertained by you bringing in other issues that affect the community. I don't think an individual. Let me tell you this: even in having our opposition, call her opposition heavy. So there'll be
Togbah, I follow what you're saying.
We don't want to include it. We don't want to just don't deal with them.
Okay, fair enough.
The community hostage. So if we continue to yell to wherever somebody say, "Oh, this is no," just keep moving forward.
Okay, no, I'll follow what you're saying, but you see, the president, whether you're an opposition or not, that the campaign over, she said from the beginning, right? So right now it's to build.
She will not satisfy everybody.
Let me end my thought, please. Let me end my thought. So she says the campaign over. So whether you're opposition or not, if you have good ideas that will make the community to work, why not?
You can bring it on board. We get there are channels in which you can process these ideas, and you don't have to come publicly and say this. It's called in politics, we call it chest beating. Right, the office of the president, Madam President, I have an idea on how I think that the administration can be able to push this community forward. These are my ideas, X, Y, and Z. Thank you very much. I look forward to hearing from you. If we ignore you, then you take that same letter, you get another letter, and attach that letter and say, Madam President, I wrote you so date, telling you why I think that would be able to push this community forward. Attached was the letter that I wrote you at that time. At least you do it 2-3 times. Then if the president still continue to ignore you, then you can come and come outside and start talking. But you have not gone through that process yet. You are not going through no other process yet. You come on social media to beat your chest. Or to
nobody's beating a chest though.
We will not entertain that. What I'm saying to you, Honorable Sayondee Kofa, let's go to the inauguration. The president and vice president who won this election, who have been given the mandate by the people of Pennsylvania, they will be having the inauguration the 12th of November at 6 p.m. The inauguration from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. Please grab your tickets. If you can do, some of our people don't do it electronically. We have tickets available physically. I have tickets available. I've been meeting organizational heads. I've been meeting individual patrons. I've been meeting other people that are not even in the community to support this inauguration. The reason why this inauguration, the tickets are $100, is that to be able to raise funds that this administration can use and put into directions that will affect the community positively. These are the message we want to get out to our people. This is why we are here. This is the reason that the organization and this leadership come into power. We want to affect our people positively. We don't care about any distractors. We want to be able to see how we can be able to raise resources to benefit our community, not in just Philadelphia. We got Coatesville, we got Pittsburgh, like the president said. We got other parts of Pennsylvania and Bucks County, other parts of Pennsylvania that have been largely ignored. We need to reach out to them. Therefore, we need our people to, it's about time we come together. The Guinean community have come together, the Nigerian community have come together, the other communities around have come together. This is our time for we, the Liberian in Pennsylvania, to come together in union strong. The national anthem say, in union strong, success is show. Therefore, we have to come together in one accord, support this administration, Madam Sayondee Kofa and Mr. Sando Johnson, who are president and vice president rightfully, to be able to push this community forward. Madam Sayondee Kofa has been in touch with the mayor's office that affects Philadelphia. But there are other mayors around in other counties, like Coatesville, like Bucks County, all these other places that Liberian also reside. To affect Liberian positively, she will have to go out there to meet these people. And what it takes is the union of our community. Our community have to come together and say, look, you know what I mean? Enough is enough. Let us stand up for what is right this time. And what is right is to support this administration so that we can be able to have representation on the larger government. When I say larger government, the government of Pennsylvania. Because we can even petition the House of the Pennsylvania House and say, look, our community, our people have been seriously disenchanted on SYZ, or we have been left alone. We want that. We want the state of Pennsylvania to focus on Liberian issues too. How will we do that? We need to come together as a community, support this administration, and to be able to push our agenda to the larger communities. And in my master program, I did something called group dynamics. How the larger group affect the smaller group.
So Togbah have an appointment.
Affect the larger group. Therefore, we are the smaller group in the larger group of
I can't hear anything.
If you cannot hear me, can you hear me?
Yeah, my president, get off and get back on. Let me see what I can get off.
Yeah, get off.
Yeah.
So what we are doing is that we are the small group. We want to affect the larger group by lobbying on behalf of the Liberians in Pennsylvania, because there are other resources that are available for people that are not traditionally, or what you call indigenous, like American, who are migrant or immigrant or whatever way they come to this country. There are some people that Liberians in the Pennsylvania.
Mr. Togbah,
the president wants you to keep it brief, so I think she has.
I'm sorry, Mr. Togbah, I have an appointment. Mr. Togbah, I'm sorry. Mr. Togbah, I'm sorry, I have an appointment. I want to tell the host, I really have to go. I mean, you guys can continue the show, Mr. Togbah. But
President, before you go, there's an observation from one of the followers, I think Elder Suar. He said, "Madam President and team, your response to Secretary Colette is not on the show today. She have just been that he is at work at this time, but telling the public that he is fighting your administration. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want work. He always complains, etc. Does not show a good image about your team. Coming in public to castigate a member of your team doesn't speak well." I want you to react to that before you leave.
Well, Mr. Secretary General is behaving as if he's an opposition to the team, and I would say that, and he's doing it publicly. Mr. Secretary General should have come to us, and which he did, and we said we'll talk about it. But to go to Mr. Colette to put it on Facebook, and to Mr. Foley to put it on Facebook is in public. The last time he complained again to Mr. Foley, and Mr. Foley put it in every Liberian Association chat room. So I needed to address that situation publicly, you know, and I want the public to know, because he wants the public to know that we are not doing our job, or we're not doing what we're supposed to do. And so why can I tell him in the public we are doing our job? It's he who doesn't want to do his job the way it should be done. And all he's doing is complaining. I don't see anything wrong with that. Mr. Secretary General, we have an executive committee chat room. He has my phone number. He knows how to reach me. We've talked about this. He could go in the chat room and express his grievances to other members of the executive, the vice president, you know, and other people. But he decided to tell Mr. Foley to write it on Facebook, and Mr. Foley to put it in every Liberian Association chat room. Trust me, you will see it in, if you are part of every Liberian Association chat room, Mr. Foley will repeat it in every, and he will even send it to people inbox. Okay, so that is public. So I needed to correct that publicly. It seems that Mr. Secretary General wants to just work for Mr. Collier instead of working with the team, and that is not right.
That's where
he came out publicly. He didn't call me in a corner. He didn't call my vice president. He didn't call anybody else for us to sit and talk about it. He called me, we spoke about it, but he told Mr. Foley, and I'm sure they talk about it. Mr. Foley has sense enough to know what to put in the public. Mr. Foley put it on Facebook, right? He put it in the public. And the last time Mr. Foley put it in every Liberian Association chat room. So you want to correct me in the public and want me to stand and look at you and say, oh, okay, you know, I respect you and I respect him. But say he wants us to talk about it in the public, let's correct it in the public. Just how you want the public to know, you just read his entire statement in public, right? I needed to respond to that in the public. And, you know, I would love to work with Mr. Collier. I don't have a problem with him. But if he keeps coming in the public to respond to me through Mr. Foley, I'm going to respond to him so the public can know what he's doing is not right. I'm not saying he was an elected official. I can't fire him. I mean, I want him to do his job. I want us to work together. I've been appealing to him for us to work together. But it seems like he has a strong sense of hold of opposing the administration instead of working with the administration by going to carry complaints to someone who was opposing during campaign time, you know, to go in the public and give a complaint. I don't have a problem answering him in the public. So that's why I'm sorry for that. If you feel that way, I think you should also reach out to Mr. Collier and tell him that we have an administration. We can sit and deal about things administratively. Yes. And he should stop, because this statement was sent to me in the public. Reason why I answered him in the public.
Yes.
Okay, Madam President, since you have appointment, you have closing talks to us. Go ahead, please.
I don't want to deviate from the fact and the reason why we are here. I'm sorry for all of that to the public, but I want people to know that our community is going forward. It's going to progress. And we are not going to go into these negative thoughts and talks. I don't like to. Everybody know me. I always ignore the negative talks. And I try to see when people bring in constructive criticism, I listen and I call the person and we'll talk about it. But we are here today to talk about the fact that our community is moving forward. And our inaugural board is coming up 2 weeks from now on Saturday, November 12th, at 7 p.m. at the Candlestick Hall on 9130 Academy Road. I would like the public to come in and support us, because there are many projects ahead of us, and there are many things we need to do for this community. There are many things, many problems we have to solve, and we'd like them to come out and support us, because it will also be a fundraising event. And I want everybody to please come on and join in. And like I said, we are open to constructive criticism. If there's anything we're doing wrong, we can talk about it. And then where you want to talk about it is your choice. You know, if you want to call us, we'll sit down and talk about it, we'll talk about it. You want to have a public forum, you know. I don't think it's the right way to go. That's why it's saying, but we prefer that you give us a call and we can all sit and talk about it. This is community work. It's voluntary and we are not getting paid, but we're doing it because we love our people and we want to have a better community. So come on November 12th to support the inauguration board and listen to our speeches and talks from other people we've invited in, special guests of honors and all that. Thank you.
All right, Madam President, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
We
let me
appreciate you.
Madam President, before you go, let me say something, right? I beg you, please pardon me and please give me the opportunity to do that. This is not the first time Honorable Kole have done this. When he did it the first and second time, the administration called him in a closed-door meeting and told him to not channel any grievance out of the I don't want to say cabinet or all of the executive chat room or the executive himself. So we sat with him and we explained this to him. First time, the second time we did that. In fact, this go meeting, I said the same thing to him. I said, my man, you my man, I like you, but you got to stop this policy politics. It's time for to go forward. You don't promote the agenda of this administration. You promote the agenda of other things than the administration that you are a part of. If you don't feel that you can work with the people, you go and resign. Say, you know what, I don't want this position. Let me step away. Ellie did it in 1985. So you go and done it. I said, you laugh about it. He said, oh, my man, he gave me a word. But then, to my surprise, I saw the message from Weber 40. So that's why I was perplexed, but at the same time, it's indicative of his character to do so. Therefore, the president addressing on in fact, my father, who is Tusua, he's my father. He's my father. It's not they say we are blood family. You know, I want to appeal to the old man. I want to know that we have reached out to this man privately on more than one occasion. But then he continued doing it. So sometimes you got to whip them outside in the public. And then maybe they will stop. So that while the president did some latching, it was not fun, but it was not fun, but it just a red checkpoint that we too can carry in public. But at this point,
I mean, you sound like Sidisha, my man.
But I'm a Sidisha. I have my identity as big guy.
Madam President, if you have to go,
yes.
Madam President, you can go. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks,
guys. Thanks for having me on your show. Thank you so much.
All right.
The public preservation of the Secretary General was much needed because he had to do that because he had to calm down and focus on what his role entails. It is not.
Let's see, Mr. Togbah, I think we exhausted the time already.
Do you have any questions coming? You have any questions? Because I know you posted a letter. Are there any issues, any comments? Anybody calling the issues that they need more clarity on, or the recommendations they want to make? Because I know you have an audience that live in the state of Pennsylvania.
I look at the comments, nothing here. I'm very impressed with LAP, and I'm looking forward to attend their program, even though as president of the United Sapphire Association of Houston, I was never invited.
Mr. Myers, I'm sorry, by extension, you are wholeheartedly invited.
The United Liberian Association. Okay, all right. Yeah, go ahead.
In Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
You are wholeheartedly invited. Even though it's impromptu, we say forgive our oversight. It was not intentional. We have a lot of issues in the community that we are dealing with. We say sorry to you for that. We are asking you to please accept our apology, and you are wholeheartedly welcome. If you can send your information to Esoteric, Saya put it on the Voice of Sando, we will be able to get it from him and reach out to you formally and invite you formally. We hope that it will not be a constraint in this tough economic time to be able to make it in 2 weeks' time. But we are asking you to please, you and your dedication, to be able to be a part of this program, this inauguration. So we are sorry that it was an oversight and it was not intentional.
All right, let's see what maybe the VP can react to other stuff before he leaves. Let me see what else here again. Okay, I think we answered that question, that comment. As one of the community's leaders, it is just impossible to satisfy all of our members. However, you can only do your best and believing in yourself, and you are doing work. You are doing work, and I understand you, and I'm in your corner as well. And I never ever met you, but most of your interviews on VOS are encouraging and continue to appeal to your people to come on board. It is about Liberia, and we all belong to Liberia. VP, any comment to that? You want to just say one or two, or anything to say to that? If you don't have, that's fine.
Yeah, well, you know, I tell everybody, community leadership is not about the titles that we carry on us. It's more about, one, availability, two, service to our people. All right, if you are not available, do not take up any community initiative because it demands time. And I know you've been around for a while. You know how these things take toll on us, our families, our personal finances, and a lot of other things that we do on a voluntary basis. And why do we get in it? We get in it because we want to help. We want to change the outlook of things. And so for all of you who are giving all of those constructive comments and recommendations, we highly appreciate your thoughts, and we'll do the best we can do to provide quality services to our people in the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay, Mr. President, VP, thank you so much. I think should I consider that as your closing comment, or you have closing comment? You can still do that.
No, I was just responding to that. Yeah, I can do my closing comments right now if you don't mind. And briefly, I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to come on your show. And I must admit, you know, that it was fun being here. I'm not sure if I've ever been on your show before. This is the first time, but we also want to make sure that this will not be the last time coming on your show. You are also under the obligation to make sure that our people, you know, will be heard, and it don't only have to be from us, but I think just the effort that you also make. You could have been doing something else today with your time, but you took 2 hours of your time to engage us so that you know what is happening in the community. We want to thank you for that. You are also providing services to this community. You don't have to be the vice president or the president or the board chairman, but in your own little way, you are providing some kind of support in terms of sharing information in the community. So we want to thank you for that. And to all of the people who are listening, we thank you also for listening to us. And we ask you again to give us that support as we are about to embark on a journey. We ask you to reach out to us if there are any issues, any concerns. We are just a phone call away. The public, social media especially, is not a place, you know, to settle any issue in terms of solutions and recommendations. If you have any issues, call us. I mean, any of us can go on social media and respond and write. I've spent 20 years of my professional life writing. And so writing is fun for me, and I can respond forcefully if I need to. But when you are in leadership now, you are, you know, under constraints, you can't do a lot. And so we are appealing to people, those of you who are still sitting on the fence and you have issues, you want things to be a certain way. I mean, it is your right. But we don't think coming into public would be one of the smartest things to do. You can reach us. We have community meetings coming up. Meet us there. Engage us in the chat rooms. Put up your grievances. We respond to them. And so again, I just want to thank you again for giving us the opportunity. To the Assistant Secretary General Lloyd, thank you so much also for bringing us on. And we look forward to seeing everybody at the inaugural board, which is slated for next week, Saturday, the 12th of November. Thank you very much. My parting words.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Johnson. Appreciate your time on the show. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you. And have a great day as well, Lloyd. We'll catch up later. All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye bye now.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Togbah, the boys here. I mean, got closing comments or thoughts for us. You know, you came as the propagandist for the leaders.
No, you know, Honorable Sayapole, let me be real with you. Even when you are in an organization, I don't care how little it is, you have to play your role because your time will come to be leader of that organization. And you don't want nobody undermining you or trying to outthink you that work with you. I don't care how smart you are, according to the rules of engagement, best practice in organization is that you cannot try to outshine, outthink your masters or your bosses. What you do is that you play along and give sound advices to them so that you can be able to help them, because other people come behind you that will be smaller than you and you will need them to help you too. So that's how it goes. I've been in organization for a long time. So that's what it is. As a SG to this, as an assisting SG to this up to the Liberian Association of Pennsylvania, I will always support Honorable Kole as long as he support the administration. If you don't want, if you deviate from that part of his role, then he will be, liable for a lot of things. But one of the media when I came here to promote is the inauguration. We hope that the voice of Sando Diaspora can do us a favor, and it's a big favor. We remember you in our paradise. Is to continue to promote us and stuff like that. I think voice of Sando, they have a bigger platform. They have expanded over the period of time, over the years. I remember when it first started, was the ones trying to share it around, to get it off the ground.
Yeah.
However, we see that you have a bigger platform. Now you have an actual studio now that you can relay from. However, we have other engagements with outside communities like the American communities, the Caribbean communities. We can invite Voice of Sando to bring the cameras here and get to see people. So this, people say one hand washes the other. So therefore, when Voice of Sando, we will ask you to please help promote us. And get Honorable Francis Mario Clark, who is the president of the United Southwest Association, and the Secretary General, Mr. Mason Togbah, who is the president of the USAA PA chapter, and Olivia Sua, Minister Olivia Sua, respectfully speaking, who is the vice president, and the inauguration going to be December 12th, right?
Yeah, December. Yeah, let me see the date here. Yeah, for the 12th, I think. 11 to 12.
Yeah. I remember a lot of things.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not getting my invitation here, so I will not for anyone. Let's look at it.
You're a member, my man. We have to.
Member, but I need to get at least invitation. But anyway, the president was invited, so therefore the cabinet was invited. I will use that as a caveat, because I see the president, Madam Sayondee Kofa, picture on this.
Yeah, she will be the insurance officer.
The Liberian Association of Pennsylvania, through its president, is automatically invited. But as the son of not just Sando, but as the son of Sapolin, I feel some jealousy there. You also to come to me too.
We're talking about Sando. So, are you going to MA, the Sando County Association, Massachusetts chapter? The inauguration is coming up. Are you going to be there on the 5th? November 5th?
I was not informed about it. However, if the invitation like this is the first time hearing about it, I don't know who will be coming from Pennsylvania to go there.
The president is carrying a delegation that she will be the guest speaker.
The president of the USAA of the United Southwest Association.
Yeah, Francis Clark Myers will be the guest speaker.
If the president, she fits in her wisdom for me to be part of that delegation, I will be honored to be so. I would not like I say, like this is my philosophy. I'm here to help the community. I'm here to help my people in whatever capacity. Let me tell you this: if you look at everything in the community in this Pennsylvania, I'm one of the people who have serious political resume. I ran in the election before, national election. I have engaged presidents. I have friends who are presidents of countries. Ellie was my friend. George is my friend. You know, the former president of Ghana, and Kofa is my friend. So it's a brother. He's not even a friend. He's a brother of mine too. So therefore, these are I have extensive political, resume. But the fact of the matter is that you have to humble yourself to be a community servant. Politics is local. So you got to humble yourself. You got to be humble and go forward. So therefore, I'm looking forward to that. Madam President Clap see it fits in her wisdom to make me a part of that dedication. I will have no other option but to honor it. Because let me tell you, it's not my right, it's a privilege. It's not my right. When I'm because I'm supplement, I'm a right. No. It's a privilege. It will be a privilege to do that.
All right, Mr. Togbah, let me just wind down here. I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you bringing the leaders here. I mean, that's why I have people like you in the community to bring these top-notch people to us, so that at least it helps to propagate the show as well.
Maybe
I really want to appreciate you for
thank you so much. Maybe we will come out one more time if you have the time closer to the inauguration.
Okay.
To echo our commitment to the community and to ask people to come and support us. I want to say thank you. And I want to say thank you to the Madam President and Vice President who took up the time to be here. I want to say thank you to the community, people who watched, Honorable Suat, who gave his input, and we take heed and we will govern ourselves accordingly. Therefore, I really, really appreciate everybody who have been a part of this, and I really, really appreciate you, Esoteric Sayapore, aka Madison Freeman, Honorable Madison Freeman. Your biological name have been lost to Esoteric. So every opportunity I get, I will make sure.
Yeah, I prefer that Sayapore.
I know. Every opportunity I get, I will put it there. Unless you get a legal name change, you are Esoteric Sayapore, yes. But you are also Madison Freeman, Honorable Madison Freeman. So people have to know you properly. In case somebody won't get you on a job now. Esoteric on the e-mansion website.
You want to do you want me to do your work, or that's a name you want? You want me to do your work?
What I'm saying is that if that's the president, we have to see this thing and then you can work in the office here. So why you put it? Esoteric, Madison Freeman.
All right, Bagu, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the show.
Let me see what I can climb the show for the day.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's the Liberian Association of Pennsylvania. The leaders, the inauguration is coming up, and so they came out to create awareness. So we want to encourage you as well, our followers, our members of Sando County Association in the Americas. As the voice of the people of Sando County, I encourage you to go there and support our daughter. She's the president of Liberian Association here in Pennsylvania. Madam Frances Clap Myers, I know she will be there for sure to support this wonderful lady. That's she was talking about female ladies or women empowerment, and so the people, the Liberian community in Pennsylvania, they have empowered one of our daughters. So let's go there and support her. You see the various leaders that will be there, people that will be inaugurated. Let's go there and support the people in the seat. And once you offer your support, when you go there, you give your support, that's when you can criticize. But you can sit on the side and say, oh, that people, and they can't do nothing. No, put in your time and put in your resources and see what they will not serve your interests. And that way you can criticize them. But in the meantime, let me switch gear to other things that I want to talk about today before I let go let go, you guys. Let's see. I just wanted to do a quick shout out to a couple of people here before I let you go. Birthday greetings, and because of the guests I have on the show today, and that's why I didn't start the shout out from the beginning of the show. But I just want to say happy birthday to, let me do ladies before gentlemen. Hopefully I got the ladies picture. I gotta go back, I think. Yeah, but let me do a shout out to the president of USAA Iowa chapter. Let me do something here quick. All right, let me do it this way. Yeah, so we want to do a shout out to Abel Morris. Abel Morris celebrated his birthday a couple of days ago. And so Mr. Abel Morris is the vice president of USAA Iowa chapter. Great guy. You know, they have been doing well over there, maintaining our chapter, for keeping the people together. And so, Abel, we want to say happy belated birthday to you. Wish you many, many more happy returns. The deity in whom you believe, may the deity or the God bless you. I also want to do a shout out to the president of SADO, Sapo Development Association in Liberia, George Garteh. Mr. Garteh also celebrated his birthday. And so we want to say happy belated birthday to Mr. Garteh. It's not a small task. The task that the man is undertaking right now in Liberia. Yes, to lead people is not a small thing. You know, people will come up with different ideas. They will come up with criticism. They will not see the good you are doing, and they will see the wrongs. You know, so but Mr. Garteh, we want to say happy birthday to you. And we ask our ancestors to give you wisdom to lead our people. Let me also do a shout out here. I thought I put this picture there. All right, let me put this picture here quickly. For shout out, I got to do this. It was on earlier, but I think I made a mistake and took it down. Let me add that picture quickly. Yeah, so that's Mr. Garteh over there, the president of SADO. Let's see. Let me go in studio and then I'll add this picture quickly. Let me take some of these pictures down. I don't need it to create a room. All right, now let me create a room here. Now I can add this picture. Let me add that quickly. All right, so I want to do a shout out to my sister, Sister Linda. My sister, she's in Minnesota. Linda Freeman, she also celebrated her birthday. So Linda, I want to say happy belated birthday to you. Wish you many more happy returns. I saw the beautiful pictures, you know, that you posted. Had a great celebration. Yeah, she always beautiful. Lovely sister. When I was in Minnesota, we were inseparable. And so, Lena, I want to say, wish you happy birthday again. Enjoy your new age. All right. So let me see here what else I wanted to do here. I want to do a congratulations to my brother here too, Gentry Roberts. Gentry graduated a couple of days ago with a bachelor's degree in nursing, BSN. So I want to say congratulations to Gentry. We are quite proud of you. Like the people used to say, the sky is the limit, but that has been revised, and the sky is no longer the limit because the scientists now they are playing in Liberia. We say knock foot. You know, they are playing knock foot now in space, and so if you want to go to space, you can also do it. It's not beyond your limit. But so I want to say again, congratulations to Gentry Roberts on this great achievement. He graduated with honors as well. All right, he's been working so LPM, and now he's decided to go for a bachelor, and so I want to say congratulations to the brother. All right, that's something I wanted to do. Now let's go on a side note. The grandmother of our youth coordinator, USAA, Shelley Kiddo, her grandmother just passed away. I think her name is Sarah Sinan. The mother passed away. This weekend or last week, and I think the family are grieving right now. So if you have time, reach out to the family. I want to say that was sympathy to the family. It's very hard, you know, to give you these cliches, but you know, the mother passed away in Philly here. The president, the team, I think they were there. I should have been part of the entourage, but other engagements wasn't able to be part of the team. But I would make time to reach out to the family. Our national youth coordinator, that's you see the lady right here, Sheriff's grandmother. So it's tough. She flew from Minnesota. She's here. I understand she was preparing to go back to Minnesota, and then the incident occurred. So I'm quite sure she's still around here. But we'll reach out to the young lady who want to say sorry to the family. Yes, yeah, it's tough. It's a difficult situation. All right, that's something I wanted to share with you. As a reminder, don't forget Sando County Association, Massachusetts chapter. The president Othello Grisby inauguration is coming up, and don't miss it. The president will be leading a delegation over there. She will be the guest speaker. And so be with the president this weekend. I think Friday she will be leaving from here to go to MA or Rochester to grace this occasion. All right, so we encourage all of you. I saw the chair lady corrected me. That is true. The USAA Delaware Valley chapter, the inaugural ball. The terrible eyes. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday is what? December what? Chair lady. Let me see. From the 9th to the 11th. That's what I'm seeing here. So the Friday, which is the 9th, will be the welcome. The Saturday will be the main day. I'm quite sure the 10th, and then Sunday will be cookout. You're all welcome. The Prince Richmond will be the guest speaker at this program, and so we encourage all of you to be part. To be part of our fundraiser, the inaugural program. I know we have a lot of things the president just announced. The board, as a matter of fact, approved the president's project. She will be undertaking a hospital project in Sincon in Sando County. So some of the organizations, the chapters are the supporting arms. So whatever fund we generate will go towards the implementation of that project or other things that the president earmarked. So come and support her. That's December. From the 9th to the 11th, that weekend is locked in. Come and support our inaugural program here. Also want to remind you, Bowman County Diaspora Association will be having an official launching and fundraising banquet as well. Our brother Jerry Masakwe is he's the chairman for the grievance committee. He's part of the Bowman. He's the vice president, and so they will be officially launching their organization. They will be having a full fundraiser. So we want to encourage you to go and participate and be part of that program. It will be the 11th month, seen here, which is next month. It starts from the 4th. Will be meet and greet. On the 5th will be the launching of the program. You see all the details over here, Sharon Hill, and all of that. You have here, they got a cookout as well on the 6th. You can also go there to support the family. I will be there as well if time permits. Yes, this organization again, Bowman County Diaspora Association. They're having the presents official launching and fundraising, and so they get some artists that will be there as well. You see these wonderful Tilia. It's a Tilia Tika. You got Gifler. You got Victoria Carpen. They'll be performing there, and little or nothing. You will pay $30, not a lot. Come and support. I usually tell people on this platform, Liberia will develop if all the various counties in the country, everybody doing something for the various counties, that will help to develop the country. It's not just the government alone. And so these various organizations, they undertake projects back home, and whatever they do, it helps to develop Liberia. It helps to help Liberians, if you like. So let us go there and support the Bowman County Association program that is coming up. All right, these are the announcements that I have for us today. Let's see. Let me see here what I have to talk about. One thing here before I leave. One more thing. Just one thing I want to talk about here. And this is what I want to talk about before I leave for the day. Voice of SINOE, we are the voice of justice. We want to do justice to everybody. And somebody can inflict injustice, and then we look at it and let it go. All right. So the former project man of the USAA, Mr. SINOE, recently wrote a piece on Facebook, and I just thought I could give my opinion on that. Yes, because I see hypocrisy in what the brother did. He was the project man for us, Mr. SINOE. Yes, we approved $10,000 for the man to put out a package to help our people. Is the board of directors should prepare the package and send it to them, how the money should be distributed. All right, even though it's the job, but then the board did that. We told the brother, as a matter of fact, the constitutional rating, but we needed people to look at the Constitution. Mr. SINOE was one of the guys that actually worked on our Constitution. But the current conflict in our community right now, SINOE is one of the guys that engineered. If he is not the guy that masterminded the whole process, So I saw SINOE recently talking about rules, talking about laws, and I just thought that was unjust. You cannot be a deviant of law of the Constitution of the USAA. And Mr. SINOE will be on Facebook and telling somebody to publish or to follow rules or to publish rules. Mr. SINOE cannot violate our Constitution, and as a consequence, he divided the community, and now he is telling the president of SADO, Garteh, to publish rules. All right? So he wrote something, and that's what I want to talk about. All right, so SINOE wrote this. Let's see what I can open that. Yeah, he wrote this and asking the chairman of SADO to publish rules. And he said the man is causing confusion. And the list goes on. So I just want to get to the stuff that he wrote. And that's sort of be the last thing I will talk about today. The other things on the platform, I will postpone it to the next show. So Mr. SINOE wrote this. I know what I'm going to share with you guys, but no, I will just read it over here. Let's see if I can just go into it and share with us. Let's see. I want to share that comment that SINOE wrote on his page. Let's see here. Let me get to this right here, and I'll open for me. It's not opening. All right, I'll just read it from my device here. It's not, I thought I could share with you so that we can look at it together. All right, so but this is what SINOE wrote. SINOE, who is a constitutional deviant, the man who worked on a document and refused to follow it. So this is what SINOE wrote. He say, creeping danger in SADO. All right? Creeping danger in SADO. That's what SINOE, that's the title of what he wrote on his page. This guy right here, right? So the first line is appeal to fear. That's what all they always do. They try to intimidate people. So creeping danger. When something is dangerous, it's not something that is friendly, right? So they always appeal to fear. They don't. I was listening to Madam Kofa. She said, people tend to look at the negative. They don't look at the positive. So SINOE say a creeping danger in SADO. And then he said, Chairman Judge Garteh, this guy right here, who is the president of the SAPO Development Association in Liberia, he said, Judge Garteh of the SAPO Development Association is trekking on a slippery path. Okay, so he said Judge Garteh is walking on a slippery path, and when he's not careful, you'll fall down and hit with balls and all of that. Okay, so he went on to say our dynamic chairman and his collaborators. Okay, look how he calling them, right? Collaborators. Our dynamic chairman and his collaborators miscalculated decision to remove some elements of our community from SADO chat room. This will be SADO's chat room, right? SADO chat room for highlighting his missteps and pastoral approach to a very sensitive issue in the Sapo nation is a creeping menace. Okay, that's Labisne talking, this guy right here, right? So let kind of put that apart. Let's go slowly and read it. It said, Chairman Garteh, George Garteh of the Sapo Development Organization is trekking on a slippery path. Our dynamic chairman and his collaborators, again, that's how you call the people, miscalculated decision to remove some elements of our community from SADO chat room. Okay, first of all, he said SADO's chat room. It's not all the Sapo people, all right? It's SADO's chat room. So if you are in SADO's chat room, and Mr. George Garteh is the president of SADO in Liberia, and when you are in the chat room, when they put you there, it's a privilege to be there. It's not a right. So when they put you in their chat room, you have to conduct yourself accordingly. If somebody going in Slabisne's SADA's chat room and the person misbehaving, and then the administrator will take action, and Slabisne will say, why? I mean, maybe Slabisne will say, oh, that's right. He will say that right, because when the person is misbehaving, Slabisne and others, they are inside those chat room misbehaving, and they say, why the president took action, why the president removed them. It's a privilege, and it's not your right to be in the people chat room. You are not in Liberia. You are not a member of SADO. You are not paying due to SADO. And so you can't go in the chat room and try to foment chaos. And you expect the man to keep you in the chat room. So I thought George Garteh did the right thing. So he said, miscalculated decision to remove some elements. Yes, they are not, the man just did not arbitrarily move people. Those people were creating problems for the forum. They were doing things that the man they could not condone, and so he has the right to remove the people. All right. So he went on to say, they said the missteps. Okay, what a misstep. Let's go on to the next one. He said removing perceived critical voice from the chat room changed nothing. No, it changes nothing. All right, our bold man. So you can say change nothing. It changes nothing. Removing perceived critical voice from the chat room changes nothing. Yeah, it does, at least, because you have to understand, when you put that stuff in there, a lot of people in the chat room, they will get a message, and then the scare tactic will start. They will start going around, So when you go on your Facebook page and put it there, you don't have as many people as they have in the chat room. So a lot of people will not pay attention. As a matter of fact, when you posted this on your Facebook page, one person commented, Whereas when you how you posted this in the chat room, it would have gotten a lot of reaction, or reactions if you like. So he said removing perceived critical voice. If you are critical, go in the SADO chat room, or not SADO but SADA, and post your stuff there. You have critical voice, put it there. That's fine. But you can't go in other people's chat room. You are not member of SADO. You are not in Liberia. But then you say critical voice for the people. No, be critical voice for SADA. So go in SADA chat room and do your criticality. Nobody will bother you. All right? So those of you, Slabisne, because the people respect him, and that's why they added into the chat room. But his SADA members, they went over there and tried to hijack the people platform. And the president cannot condone such nonsense. All right, so he removed you guys. That's because they say Sapo Development Association, right? Sapo Development Association, SADO, in Liberia. So it's for development. It's not for criticality and try to put people apart like you guys did here. The chaos that you created in the United Sapo Association in America, you're trying to put it among the people in Liberia. And George Garteh is saying, no, I'm not going to be here. The people gave me their mandate, and then I will squander it. I will all green code you and divide the people here. I will not do it. So anybody who poses threat to the unity of the people here, I will take you out. And that's the right thing to do. All right. So removing perceived critical voice from the chat room changed nothing. It should be changes, right? But inflame, it's going to be inflames the situation. And takes, it's going to be take, but it takes, but the message take. All right, our board man. but inflames, it should be inflames the situation and takes the discussion to a different level. So Slabby Snare is saying, okay, the president of SADO did the right thing to remove Confucianists from his child room. Slabby Snare saying, it solves nothing. It just escalates the situation. That's what you do. So Mr. Slabby Snare, this is the brother, I still got respect for him, but he is every day taking himself down. He bringing himself lower and lower. You should not be the one to be fueling conflict in the community. It should not be Slabby Snare. When the other, the basic people, they're doing it, then it makes sense. But you can't consider yourself to be a sophisticated guy and you will be at the forefront of dividing your people. And that should be okay. Slabby Snare, that's not right. So the man said it changes this, it's just nothing. As a matter of fact, it takes the confusion that he is trying to propagate into another level. All right. The same thing that they hear in the US. Everybody intervened, but the guy said, we're not going to listen to anybody. They kept escalating the situation. They kept taking it to another level, and we got to where we are today. So that's Slabby say. Now, Judge Garteh, you took me from the chat room, and those of us from SADO, we took off from the chat room. Well, we are taking the confusion to another level. Or whatever we are doing, the tearing people apart. We are critical people. We are critical thinkers. That's the same thing they used to do with the bull. When the bull sends a letter to them, they will say, after critically analyzing your communication, this is our decision. And the bull is the higher decision-making body after the General Assembly. But Slabby Snare will say, after our critical analysis. So now the critical analysis has gone to SADO. The man carried to SADO, not SADO. So he carried to SADO right now. That's why they carried the criticality and the escalator. The man said, by removing me, you are escalated whatever I'm doing to another level. All right, that's Slabby Snare. I'm just interpreting why he put on paper. He said, then he went on and said, they're called by Chairman Garteh for Joe Nyepa, the Wedger chairman, to resign from his position as General Secretary of SADO. Liberia is not the point of no, it should be one of the points of contention. All right, you can say it's not the point. Again, let's say Joe Nyepa is leading a community organization, one of the sections of the Sapo tribe or ethnic group in Liberia. Okay, and so Joe Nyepa cannot be the leader of the people in Liberia, and at the same time, he's the secretary of the people that divided our people in America and in Liberia to be the secretary for them. Joe Nyepa was given a task in Liberia. The Wedger people, they gave him their chairmanship. And that's what he's supposed to be doing, and not to be secretary for people that divided the community. So the chairman of SADO, because in Liberia, SADO, all the sectional organizations, they are under him. And so if one of the chairmen is doing something that poses threat to the unity of SADO, he has the right. So he said, Mr. Joe Nyepa, you are out of, you can't, the people say you can't chase two frogs, right? At the same time, you will miss two of them, all right? So you are either with us or you with SADO. So if they call him for and say, sir, maintain your position and leave the people in America or in Minnesota that are causing problems, leave them alone. But Joe Nyepa said you will remain as secretary for SADO, the Sapo Developers Association, in the branch in Liberia that Green established. He will be the secretary. And that is creating problem for Judge Garteh, who is the leader for the entire Sapo people in Liberia. Because Green Gold followers in Liberia, everywhere, they are not friendly. They always attacking everybody else, as Slabby Snare is doing now. They took it to another level. All right, so Mr. Judge Garteh, the president of SADO in Liberia, he said, okay, sir, since I have cautioned you or advised you, we call you to a meeting to leave, to do not be part of the U.S. conflict that Green created, or Slabby Snare created, and you don't want to listen, sir, then you have to resign from the Wedger people, because Mr. George Garteh himself is a Wedger guy. He's part of the organization. And they're the one giving the authority. And so they are now, the members are now campaigning for Joe Nyepa to leave the chairmanship of the Wedger people. Let the man remain as secretary in Liberia. He's not paying meeting due to Green Coach View over here in America, but he's the secretary for them in Liberia. Okay. And so that's let me say the call by Chairman Garteh for Joe Nyimpa, the Wedger chairman, to resign from his position as General Secretary of SADO, Liberia is not the point of contention, but his inability to take practical action against individuals within the SADO leadership, both appointed and elected officials who are in similar situation, is the main issue. Okay, who are the people that are doing the same thing that Joe Nyimpa is doing? Who are those people? Who are the officials in Liberia? Who is the chairman in Liberia for any of the sessions that is supporting any group or that is holding position in a group over here in the US? I can only think of Honorable Richard Panto, who is the country director for the USAA in Liberia, right? But he is not a position holder in SADO or any organization in Liberia. At least SAPO related. He's not a Judge Garteh. He is only the consultant. When they have anything, they go to him. He is not cabinet. He was not appointed by Judge Garteh to anything. He's just a consultant of somebody who is knowledgeable, who been around, so the people consult him when they want ideas, when they want advice, they go to him to consult him. And so I think that what Celebrity is trying to reference, say, oh, other people are holding position in other organizations, they're in similar situation, but no, Mr. Panto is not holding, he's not a chairman for any SAPO organization over there, he's not a secretary for any group. He's a private citizen, he's a professor at the university or one of I think, what you say? Yeah, Garteh University, he teaches there, and he's a knowledgeable man. People go there and consult him. He's not employed by Judge Garteh. He's not a member of the Judge Garteh administration. All right, who else? The other people that are on the team over there, they are not holding any position. And besides these people, we don't have organization in Liberia. There is nothing in Liberia called SAPO Association in Liberia. No. Those people that we have on the ground is to facilitate, because these are the ideas we gave Grinko Julio before when he was the president. Mr. Julio, work with the people on the ground. But you can, everything you want to do, you want money from the account to go there to break ground, to do all this thing and to dedicate. Why can you have people on the ground? They don't want to know what they want. You consult with the people what they want, and the people on the ground, they can go ahead and do the work. And that's what we're supposed to do, to save the money. Instead of you taking $10,000 or whatever amount, go to Liberia to dance, where somebody can be on the ground and do the work. So these ideas we gave it to the man before, and the man said, he's not going to do that. But now people are doing it. He run a competition. He established SAPO Development Association in Liberia. We don't have SAPO or United SAPO Association in Liberia. No. We want to have people on the ground to implement projects for us, because we are not there. Joe Nyimpa is not implementing any project for SADO in Liberia. SADO has not done anything. Nothing. They have no hand mark anywhere on planet Earth. Even beyond planet Earth, they have no hand mark. So everything they see as competition. Anything that the USAA does, they see a competition, and celebrities and they will say, oh, you know what? And the same thing happening. Nothing like that happening. United SAPO Association has not put our models in the street to be dancing, and they've sold lapa for them. No, we never did anything. In any case, what USAA has done is to undertake projects in Liberia. We built 3 buildings in Liberia. COVID time, we wanted to help the people to send food money, would get a $10,000 to Gio, ate the money here, a group, the same stuff is in there. That's what they did. But now they are carrying the confusion all over the place, because nobody is giving them credence. Judge Garteh is not taking their nonsense. So let me see them went there. The call by Chairman Garteh for Joe Nyimpa, the Wedger chairman, to resign from his position as General Secretary of SADO, Liberia, is not the point of contention, but his inability to take practical action against individuals within the SADO leadership, both appointed and elected officials who are in similar situation, is the main issue. So he did not name the people that are in same situation with Joe Nyimpa. He didn't name them, but they just made allegations. That's what they do. He went on to say, making decisions under the pretext of rules that were never published or provided to anybody is a form of censorship. Okay, Stebby Snitch should not be saying this. when you talk about rules, when we talk about censorship, SADO should be quiet. Because these people, when Green Coat Gio was the president for the Sapo people, when you get on the teleconference, you express your view. As a matter of fact, his Green Coat Gio supporters, there, they will go on the phone and judge the steps so that you can't even say your view. They will put on Panto Rule music, Floco, just so that you can't say anything. They don't want you to hear contrary view or contrary opinion. So the everything is because of the prohibition of free speech. And I want to go out to this point right now. Because if you speak something contrary to what Slabby believes or what Green believes, it's an issue. And that what brought us to the point. So Slabby should not be talking about rules. This is the man that violated the Constitution. Slabby said he the one told Green Coat to set up convention in Minnesota against the Constitution that he wrote. So he should not be the one to be talking about rules. About rule not okay, so let me say you're talking about Judge Garteh did not publish rules. How about the Constitution of the USAA that was published and you violated? If you're a law-abiding person, you abide by the law that was published. The Constitution was published. You worked on it and it was published. Did you obey the Constitution of the USA? No, you did not. So you can't go to Liberia and telling people they should obey rules and they should publish rules. When the rules that were published here, you're not following it. You're committing your lay in 2019 convention in Fargo. You know what you said? Before a dime is taken from the account, a voucher should be written that a rule, that your own rule there. It should be written, send it to the board of directors. The board should respond in 2 weeks to tell what their decision. If that is not done in 2 weeks, the amount is considered automatically approved. Slabby and Green Coat they send a voucher to the board the same day. The board replied the same day. Slabby said, we'll still take that money. But he is talking about rules. He should not be talking about rules. The guy is anti-rules. He is anti-constitution. And that's why they are running an organization right now that has no rules, that has no constitution. They're just doing everything arbitrarily. Okay? So Slabby should not be the one to tell somebody and say, making decisions on the pretext of rules that were never published. All right? You're talking about rules that are never published. Okay, did you obey the USA Constitution that were published? No, you did not. So why are you complaining about Judge Garteh? The SADO, let's just say, child room that you are in. Do you guys have rules in there? The service in the red rules? Let me see. Somebody calling here. Hey, Mr. Malibu.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, we love you, brother. We love you. We know you bring some topic that we don't even think about, and you just come and placard it. But I just want to speak to that topic that you on with what? Slabby. You know, I'm sorry for calling your name. You might be pissed off, but it's okay. You know, when we started the conversation, the mediation, that we need to come together, you know, people thought that we were so biased. But so that Judge Garteh is getting to understand why things went down like that. And I'm glad that he's getting to understand. And I like the position he's taking, because that's what he should have done from the get-go. But he's thinking that we were the province of people, we were the province of people. But not knowing, now he's getting to know about it. And I am so pleased that he's coming to himself. Because before they were undercutting the Myers Mining Association, thinking that we were the problematic people. And now that it already to its doorstep, or probably already inside the door or inside the house, and you're trying to what? Try to terminate. And I like the step he's taking, so I'll give him a big applause. Now we can move forward and do the best we can to help them, to help SADO to do what they want to do. And also, kudos to our president for standing up for us and also giving a donation as part of our means of supporting SADO. And I hope everybody here that we are not a confucianist, but want to bring the organization and get people together for all to work for one common goal. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Madu. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So that's so we're reading SINOE communication. He's talking about rules, and he is anti-rule. He is anti-rules. Yes. So I'll read that portion again. Making decisions on the pretext, okay, on the excuse. You say making decisions on the pretext, on the excuse of rules. You got to understand the guys. SINOE is not pro-rules. He's against rules, okay? That were never published or provided to anybody is a form of censorship. Let's SINOE give us the Constitution of SADO. Let's give us the financial policy of SADO. Let's SINOE give us the policy of the child room of SADO. He will not do it. But they are here and on Facebook and in different child rooms and attacking people. It can be this kind of hypocrisy will not go with me. We should not have been where we are today because has SINOE obeyed the document that he wrote, we wouldn't be where we are today. But the man is on tip and telling people, I the one instructed Green Coach View to violate the Constitution and set up his own convention in Minnesota. Even though the document he worked on, he did not give the president the authority to declare where convention should go. He said the General Assembly should do that. Okay? So the likes of SINOE. Let's listen to him. That's SINOE, not me.
You give him a document, but you're not following the document, but you say, I'm following the document. No, you are not. No. Where in the document you wrote that the president can declare convention? Where? Nowhere. So that's the first infraction. You see, you get there, your brother say, what you're doing is wrong, but you follow him. I told you to do it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's the contravention of the very.
So he just said that. I the one told him to do it. To contravene the Constitution of the USA. The policy that he put together, he said, you know what? Green put all things aside. I don't get time for all the things I put on paper. But then he turned around on Facebook and tried to George Garteh token for the child room because of the problem that they are creating in SADO's child room. He's angry now. All right? Making decisions under the pretext of rules that were never published or provided to anybody is a form of censorship. Where are the rules? Are they somewhere under your pillows? Mr. SINOE, guess what? The USAA Constitution was on your pillow, on top of your pillow, in your living room, everywhere the Constitution was right before you. And you just told us that you told Green Coach View to violate the Constitution.
You give him a document, but you're not following the document, but you say, I'm following the document. No, you are not. No. Where in the document you wrote that the president can declare convention? Where?
He went mute, right? When I asked him that question, he couldn't answer. He had to struggle. Then he came back. Listen.
Nowhere. So that's the first infraction. You see, you get there, your brother say, what you're doing is wrong, but you follow him. I told you to do it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's the contravention of the very document you wrote. No, there's no contravention there.
All right. So these are the people in the community. They're always causing problems. They will throw the stone and out of the clean guys. And I'm here to expose these guys. So you cannot look at Judge Garteh, who was doing the right thing and try to make it look bad. I want to say thanks to Judge Garteh for removing SINOE and all those that are causing problems in the child room. It's a privilege for you to be inside those child room. They respect you, and that's why they added you to it. You can go there and just start to cause chaos, the same chaos he caused in the US here. All right? So he said, a good number of our people are speculating that the rules are centered around you. The rules, the USA, or before then, everything should be about green and SINOE. And that's what we are here today. Everything that SINOE says, or Green Coach View says, that what they want us to do. Once you have different opinion, So while assuming that everything is surrounding George Garteh, it should not be a problem with you, Slabisne. You should not have a problem with that. Because that's what you do here. That is what you do here. You were the chairman for project committee. The board approved 10,000 and say, oh, you have divided, go to the chairman, man, let him put something in place. So basically wrote the board and said, after critical analysis, you guys, the ideas came from you, and so tell us how to implement the project. Okay, what the project man will do? He didn't do a work. They're doing everything wrong, but then they want to make other people look bad. He said a good number of our people are speculating. They just make allegations, right? That the rules are centered around you. The rules probably are, one, he said probably, right? So he's not sure of what he's saying, though. He's guessing now. He didn't have the rule, but he's making, these are the things they do. Probably. When he said probably, he is saying maybe, perhaps. That's what he's saying. So he's not sure of what he's saying right now. He said the rules are probably are, one, no one should underscore the missteps and perceived partiality of Chairman Garteh. No, you have to highlight the missteps of Grinko Julio and the partiality. That's why you ought to be highlighting. You can't be highlighting what other people did not do. It is partial, Mr. Slabisne, for Grinko Julio to go withdraw $90,000 from the organization account. And you say that the guy should send a voucher to the board. Where is the voucher for that $90,000? No, you went against all of that. Where is the voucher for the $2,000 or the $2,500? Where's the voucher? You are not following anything, sir. So you have to be quiet. A number of our people, a good number of our people, how many of them? They would not call your random figure stuff out there. A good number. How many of them? A good number of our people are speculating. So when you say speculating, that rumors, okay? They are carrying gossip around. Why you say speculating? So the man, you want a man to act on lies, on speculation and rumors? No. A good number of our people are speculating that the rules are centered around you. Okay, so that's rumor. So we don't have to pay attention to that in the first place. The rules are probably, then you say probably, maybe. I'm not sure. No one should underscore the missteps and perceived partiality of Chairman Garteh. Okay, so the man made all that, all right? Number two, he made another one. If that is done, violators should be removed from the chat room. Okay, basically you say violators. If somebody violates a rule, do you still want to keep the person around? No. If you violate a rule, and that's why the USAA, you guys were expelled. That's why you say, you know, your constitutional your time is over, so you have to go. If you want to come back, then you apply. You can't contest our position. But your time was over, you want to overstay, and the people reminding you and say, oh, you know, then you say, you know what, the elder say, you go ahead. Go ahead, settle the Constitution Committee. Say Grinko G and Stephenson, they don't want to do their work. Settle the guidelines. And that's how we went to Florida. Stephenson, they got vexed. All right? You don't want to do your work. But you are here and telling people what to do in Liberia. Yes. We took you to court, you vexed, because you don't want to listen to anybody. Yes, we'll talk you to mediation because everything that people propose from the lawmaker of SADO County, Mr. Zaza, to everybody, superintendent of Grand Jeddah County, all over the place they talk to you guys, you refuse to listen to everybody else. But then you are telling people saying like, bro, oh, violators should be removed. Yeah, violators should be removed. The same way we put pressure on you here and you were forced to remove yourself from the USAA. Yes, because have we not done it? You hijack the whole organization and you'll be doing your own thing, no rules, you following nothing. Just the same way you have no 501c3, you have no document whatsoever, no constitution, nothing. And you say you're running an organization. But you point the finger at other people. I challenge Slabisne to publish the constitution of SADO. He will not do it. I challenge him to publish the financial how they can withdraw money from the accounts. They will not do it. He will not publish the rules and regulations surrounding their chat room, SADO. He will not put it. I challenge him, he will not do it. But they want to moralize and tell other people on the other side what to do and what not to do because you are in America. The fact that you are in America does not mean you control the people on the ground. Judge Garteh got the mandate of the people. The people elected him, and he is the chairman. If he thinks that whatever the people are doing or what you guys are doing, it poses a threat, he gives you the privilege to see what they are doing in Liberia, and you want to abuse it, the man will take you from there. And that's the right thing Judge Garteh did. Your decision will never change the identity. But the man did not say he remove the people to change them to a different tribe. No, he didn't say that. He just said you guys are confusion. You are posing your trouble. You are poison to the community. And so once you are not productive in the chat room, because the chat room was established for ideas to be generated, because it's development sample development association. They want ideas to develop and not ideas to tear the people apart. And so when you are not bringing productive ideas, of course the man has the right to take you out. And that's what he did. And you're saying your decision will never change the identity of those involved. But the man said they are not sample. That was not the purpose. The purpose of removing you guys is because you were causing confusion. The power you causing in America, you're trying to extend it to them. And the man said, no, I can't condone these guys to do this to us here. No. Our community needs to remain together. They will, he said, they will forever remain an integral part of this. That is not argument over there. It's not an argument. Judge Garteh is not saying that. Judge Garteh now say, oh, I took you for the chat room and you are no longer Sapo man or you are no longer Sapo woman. No, that's not what he said. He is the leader. Just the same way you and Green Code Judeo, you are running SADO, whatever decision you make, that's it. So Judge Garteh, after consulting with the officials, he went there and removed you guys. And that's what he did. That's the right thing to do. That is the right thing to do. That is the right thing to do. So he said, I will ask you most respectfully to go on a drawing board with your team to come up with a position policy on how to deal with the crisis in the USA. Everybody has intervened. You don't listen. Now you want that Judge Garteh to intervene in the USA? No. Everybody tried. Everybody tried to solve this issue amicably. And you guys say, you know, you're the man. Nobody should listen. Nobody should listen to anybody else. Yeah. Because you had a preconceived notion when you came to the community. The notion, because I used to talk to Green Code Geo back then, and you know, oh, the old people are advancing as a Geo. You need the old mat in order to sit on, in order for you to go. You have to work. Don't call the old people who will send it aside. No, don't do that. I used to tell the brother all of that. You can't work in isolation. Anywhere around the world, if you see, like when Dora and Togbah in Liberia, they were political novices. They don't know how government could run or runs. So what they did, after they finished doing all that, they brought the same true we party people then, because the people have been running government for a long time. They understand it. So experience is very, very important. All right. In America, yeah, you have Joe Biden there still around. Why? Because they have experience. So when you dismiss the people there, you are creating problem for yourself. And that's what you did. The peaceful Jordan that started this thing, the Reverend Seward and those people, John Brother, oh, we don't get time for the old people there. And that's why you started having problem in the first place. And so Slabisne is the constitutional deviant. All right. He deviates from the Constitution. As a matter of fact, he did not deviate. He chop off the Constitution and just trash it. And right now you're running an organization with no law and telling somebody say, oh, you know what? Where are the rules? Where are the rules that you're running on? And you don't have no rule for your organization over there. But you're asking somebody for rules. You listen to service the man are talking about rules business. You listen to him. I'll play him again before I leave. I'm about to leave right now. Man talking about rules. You listen to the man that's seeking rule. What are you saying?
You give him a document, but you're not following the document, but you say, oh, I'm following the document. No, you are not. Where in the document you wrote out the president can declare convention? Where?
Nowhere. All right. The man went blank when I asked that question straight. He couldn't answer it because he knows that it's the president, the Constitution gives the General Assembly the mandate to declare where convention should go. All right. Then you turn around and get a mandate to Green Code overnight.
Nowhere. So that's the first infraction. You see, you get there, your brother say, "Oh, man, what you doing is wrong," but you follow him. I told you to do it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's the contravention of the very document you wrote.
All right. So he told a man to violate the Constitution, but now he telling somebody, "Oh, where are the rules? Where are the rules? The rules that want to center around George Garteh." My man, you had the rules over. You had a whole big book. Everywhere in your living room, everywhere in Greencourt Geo living room, everywhere in Camden Ross living room, everywhere the Constitution all over the place. And you violated that. And now you're asking for rules. So when they publish that, now why you obey? When the one you say you wrote, you couldn't obey it. That the one George Garteh will publish that, why you obey? I mean, leave other people your function productive to do in the community. And we'll be fine. You start the hypocrisy. You are doing everything wrong here, but you want to moralize on other people and say, "Oh, the other person doing anything wrong," but you're not doing anything right here. I challenge Green and Stebby to give me the Constitution of SADO, the organization that they said is running. They have no constitution, they have no guidelines, nothing. Their child room, what they got over there, no rules, nothing. But you telling George Garteh to publish rules because they misbehaving in the child room and the man took them from there, he angry. So you can go on your page now and go right. Oh, yeah. But I want to say thanks to the great George Garteh for standing up to these bullies. These guys are bullies. The bully people around here 24/7. That's what they do. So George Garteh, we want to say thank you. At least, I know you say Adre Alije, Apo Balao, you know, you say Adre Ajo that to her, and they say, you say Adre Ajo that to her. All right. When we were saying it here, you thought, oh, the problem was for the board of directors. The guys are exposing themselves. They are all over in the chat room and just attacking people. Yes. I mean, members from USAA, they are inside the chat room, but you not see nobody commenting over there. When I saw the daughter, we'll put ideas, we'll put some, but we'll not go there. And all we do is just, no, everybody just watching them. The Samuel Shekber and they get an opportunity to go in there, the men are attacking people. And you want Judge Garteh to come make the people, their platform to be a playground for SADO people? No. Judge Garteh, you're a man. Joe Nyimpan got to resign. If he wants to be the chairman for we, the Waja people, he got to resign our position. He got to resign. He would not come be occupying a position and kind of be secretary for people that develop our community. I couldn't give our people $10,000 for food to get something to eat in the middle of the COVID. And you want to be secretary for them? The people that have no hand mark anywhere. They wouldn't mark, they have a corruption. So I want to say thanks to George Garteh for doing that which is right. That's it. That's it. George Garteh's eyes are open. He's seeing the truth now. He knows. And why a man Jesus said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free." So the truth now is George Garteh is seeing the truth now. The people in Liberia, they're seeing the truth. They see what the guys are up to here. They are not for anything productive. All right, guys, I'm out for the day. We want to say thank you so much for joining VOSD. That's what we'll do. We'll do the right thing for everybody here. Nobody's going to demonize anybody here because you know how to wreck. No, we are not going to allow that. I'm out for the day. We'll now bring the monkey down small. And I'm out. Enjoy yourself.
This one a real one. Who Yankee? I'm a real sticker a long time. Lyrical. Mash up the place.
Okay, you're not able to take care of Babu Nebo. You're not able to bust the rata Babu Nebo. Oh, soldier, monkey calm down. Oh, monkey calm down. Monkey calm down. Oh, monkey calm down. Monkey calm down to you. Monkey calm down to you.
All right, guys, we brought the monkey down. We are out. Join us Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern.